Hey, it's the Redeye stream, number 54, Dancing with the Cops. We have wood, cabbage, and of course 40 ounce. I called it Dancing with the Cops for the simple fact they make this guy jump through so many hoops. And he's drunk. I didn't even know that, but he's intoxicated when they're making him do this. And then they end with killing him. Any thoughts before we show the video?
Nothing that we can't stop the video for, I don't think. We can go ahead if you want.
All right.
Let's just
go ahead and screen share. All right, so here we go. Let me go over here and present to everybody so it doesn't go away if I'm quiet. All right. So I don't know if you are going to be able to hear any sound. Can you? Okay, no. So I'll mute it so I don't have to hear the crap.
I think you should put it on full screen.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so he's already down, face down, with his hands on his head. They had already removed the woman. I only want to show like the 2 minutes here. Oh no, they didn't remove the woman yet. She's still there.
Okay, good.
At this point, guys, do you think it should have been over, right?
You would think so. This, for some odd reason, I was actually rather surprised they had them come to them while they're behind cover in the hall. It doesn't make any sense to me. Honestly, it doesn't. If these people are incapacitated, it's safe to go forward and arrest them. It's not like you can't move your gun off of them. You know, they're in a fucking hallway. Where are they gonna go? Nowhere.
Yeah, I have to stop sharing for just a second because they're going to be bringing in groceries, so I have to mute myself. So I'll get back to the video here in a couple minutes.
Okay, but Matt, isn't there a thing called arrest procedures? I mean, there are procedures as to how you arrest somebody, and I cannot believe that what that guy did is in any way, shape, or form close to arrest procedures. You know, get down, put your hands behind your head. That's pretty much it, right? What's with all the other fucking commands? You know.
And later in the video,
your legs.
Later in the video, he goes, "Crawl towards me," or something like that.
Yeah.
That just seems like he's trying to exercise power over someone.
Yeah.
Like
he's a total power trip. Total power trip. Absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like he's just got drunk and been, "Oh, I have the gun."
And you can hear him. He's panting. He's getting more and more excited as it happens, right?
Yeah,
you can hear his voice.
Like
you know, he's getting off on it.
Yeah, he's having some kind of sexual arousal.
Yeah. Okay, I can go back to the video if you guys want to talk. I won't be able to unmute myself, but let's go ahead and show it. So
Can we get Wolfie in though? Because I'd like to hear about what actually arrest procedures are meant to be. Because I can't believe that this is even remotely what a police officer is meant to do in order to get somebody, you know, to subdue themselves.
She'll probably have a better idea of American arrest procedures and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she used to be a police officer, but I put the link out in the Hangout, so maybe she'll jump in, maybe she won't. I don't know. But let me go ahead and screen share again, and you guys go ahead. After the 2 minutes are over, I'll go back to talking also.
Ah, hello, voice. How are you? Right, so essentially, at this point, the girl is quote-unquote crawling towards them. But here's the thing I notice. These two different individuals have very separate definitions of what to do when a police officer tells them to actually crawl towards them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice that the girl, she didn't necessarily crawl. She shuffled on her knees. It wasn't necessarily even crawling, to be honest.
I mean, they just keep changing what it is they want.
I'm just wondering what the
hell. How the fuck are you supposed to interpret what they're asking you to do when they just keep changing the fucking thing? Put your hands up, put your hands down, put your left foot in, put your right foot out. out, shake it all about.
And just let it be known for people who haven't heard the audio. This guy is yelling at the top of his lungs like he's some kind of screaming buffalo.
No. Oh, he's hyper. There's no doubt he's hyper.
Yeah, it's
well,
like
Mad Dodge said, potentially, on meth or something. I just think probably pumped up on, Red Bulls or something. Yeah, too many coffee and donuts.
I think this is the bit where he starts telling him to crawl.
Hey, by the way, boys, hello. Good to see you.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Hello, Mr. Wood. I don't know your name.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Voice.
God, he knows your name.
The room's got wood.
Well, aren't we very polite?
Here it comes. 1, 2, 3.
Well, then be
4,
polite
5.
to a police officer. He might get you shot.
He shot him because he was crawling towards him, and you saw that he kind of puts his hand close to his waist. I think that he took that as him trying to pull out a gun that wasn't there. And then he just went trigger happy. He went trigger happy and then went boom, boom, boom.
I could understand that if the guy had, a holster there, but there's nothing. I
know. It seems to me that he just kind of slipped out of nervousness because this guy's absolutely terrified. Of course, his hands are probably shaking and he probably slipped. Hand goes down. He thinks he's trying to pull out a weapon or something, but even though he doesn't have a holster or anything.
No, like I said, that's the point. That's bad policing. That guy isn't trained well enough.
These fuckers can't even open a door, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's what I pointed out. That's what I pointed out on Discord. They can't open a damn door. They don't know how to use a key card. How incompetent are these?
Clearly, they only use motels. You see, motels are for hookers. That's what the cops are used to. You don't get key cards in motels.
I think at the end of the video they actually tell them to get the battering ram or something like that. Get some equipment to open the door because they can't get the key card to work.
Yeah.
Pathetic, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you probably couldn't have seen because, with internet and lag and all that other magic shit I don't know anything about. It's a little grainy. You can't quite see it. But if you actually watch the video itself, you notice he fidgets with his gun. Like, to a point where it's kind of awkward.
But listen to his voice, his breathing while he's doing that twitchy stuff. You can hear he's kind of getting pepped up,
And fun fact, you can tell that this guy likes shooting people because allegedly, from what I've read, on his gun's dust case, he apparently spray painted onto it the words, "You're fucked."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was on the Wikipedia thing anyway. I mean, who knows if it's true? That could have been posted in the last couple of hours. It might still have to be, validated. But no. Hey, Redbeard. Hello.
Hi.
Can you speak to us today?
Well, no, I would like to also point out that the man was intoxicated, which I didn't know until I read that Wikipedia thing. He had been having a few drinks with some friends. So he's drunk, and he doesn't know what's going on. The guy's yelling at him, giving him multiple directions. It's insane that they shot him 5 times. 5.
But the thing is, he's also, he says he's drunk. If you hear, if you listen to it, turn up the volume. The guy says he's been drinking, because the guy asks him.
I'm pretty sure he says he's not drunk in the video.
How does he say not drunk? I thought he said he was drunk. He said, have you been drinking or something? And the guy says yes. He confirmed that he'd had a few beers.
I heard him say no.
Oh, okay. I'll have to turn it up a bit more.
For a second, just to make sure.
Redbeard, what do you think about this shit? Have you seen the footage, or did you just see it when I was showing it?
Yeah, I just watched it. I don't even know what the fuck this is. I just got on your channel and was watching, and then I'm like, I gotta get on this shit.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of background. This happened in 2016. After it happened, the cop a few months later was fired because he had carved into his dust jacket on his AR, his police issue weapon. You're fucked or some shit like that.
So why does that matter?
Okay, well, if you're looking, one, it's against regulations. 2, the way he's shouting and freaking out.
Well, it's not professional. Fuck me, if I see a cop and he's
sure,
got
sure, you fucking
get
professional.
fucked.
It's
Yeah, but if you're police officer,
it's the equivalent.
Spray
It's the-
painting fucking big titty bitches on the side of aircraft ain't professional either.
no.
But we did that all in World War II, didn't we?
Enola Gay.
Yeah.
In Japan, they apparently do it with hentai.
No, but Redbeard, the police are there to serve and protect. The military.
They're also there to take out threats, okay? And I don't think it's...
fucking God,
I
come
don't
on.
think
Well, the military are
you're fucked into an AR makes someone a mass murderer, you know? I don't think it makes them more of an... more guilty than someone who did not do that.
Well,
I
the
would say
Japanese
that if
military-
you're a police officer, if you're someone in a professional service to protect people and you have get fucked on your police fucking gun, I would say that shows intent to murder.
Well, I don't think that shows intent to murder. I think
may I just add something in here? I think that they allow that kind of, for example, spraying, threatening-looking pictures and big titty bitches onto the sides of your airplanes. They let that because they're dealing with actual enemies that want to shoot back at them. These guys, they don't know if these.
I'll stop you right there and say that they don't do that anymore. But back in the day, they...
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, be honest, Redbeard. What did you have painted on the side of your ship?
Huh?
When you were in the Navy, what did you have painted on the side of your ship? A funny notion, the reason you're defending the paint is because you painted something.
No, there's nothing
Cock
painted
and
on the
balls.
side of the fucking ship. It was nothing like that. But
Nelson was best admiral. Get fucked.
Well, but the biggest difference is that, you know, when you're in the military, a lot of that graffiti is actually for fun. You know, if you landed your plane on the wrong aircraft carrier, they'd mark it up with chalk, you know, and they'd quote unquote, you know, tag their carrier onto your airplane if you landed it in the wrong aircraft carrier. You know, there's all that, you know, there's an army battalion that named their tank Jenny at Castle Ister. You know, there's all kinds of weird shit, but, you know, to write "you're fucked" on a gun case, that's not something I would do.
No.
It shows a degree of mental instability a little bit.
I disagree. This goes into what words are okay to say and what words are not okay to say. He could have wrote "I love you" on it. He could have wrote "nigger" on it. He could have wrote anything on it.
That would have been really fucking weird.
You see what I'm saying here?
That would have been
the words
way
do not
weirder if he said, "I love you."
The words
That would have been
dictate what
freaky.
the person does or the actions that come from using
Oh,
that
Wolfshot's
tool.
here.
Well, I understand it doesn't imply
Excellent.
actions, but
Wolfie.
You're
No, but a man killed he killed an unarmed man, and he had
yes, the guy
fucking
was
get fucked
clearly
written on his
fucked
gun.
up. Okay, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, who gives a fuck what someone writes on their gun?
Yeah, I agree with Redbeard on that one. Sorry. I was listening earlier, and
Let's let Wolfshot talk about this because she was once a cop, wasn't she?
Yeah, Wolfshot, I want to know, was this procedural to have him crawl to the police?
Yeah.
Shouldn't
I mean,
Yeah, Wolfie, what are the arrest procedures?
I mean, typically,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the situation. What happened?
They,
This is the first I'm hearing about this. I mean, I got IM'd.
the story behind it is that the guy that got shot, he was an exterminator, and he basically had a BB gun that he used to exterminate a bunch of birds in the attic. And yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
And he was basically, him and his friends, he was basically showing his friends the BB gun because I don't know why, but somebody saw this out from the motel room window and they thought it was a real gun, so they called the police.
I hope he was playing Slayer.
Shoot up the hotel, so they went in with the SWAT in case he was actually going to try and shoot up the hotel.
okay, see, that's dumb. Don't fucking take your gun out in a fucking goddamn.
Exactly. He probably was drunk. Judging by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, I mean, we look after Las Vegas. I'm sure there's a heightened awareness for
Nope,
that kind of
nope.
shit.
Wait a minute. Let me
Arizona.
stop you here.
Yeah.
This was in 2016. This was before Mandalay Bay.
Oh, I didn't fucking know. I just saw the video and was like, oh, okay.
I think the video was just released recently.
No, I wasn't being rude. I just wanted to stop you there just so I can give you the context. That's all, Wolf.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You have to understand that, as you said before, Wood, no one understands that this is a BB gun. This could be a real gun.
Yeah.
And so while I think this cop is maybe, judging from the fact that he fidgets with his weapon to a very odd degree, he's, as you said, having the guy sashay and ballet.
40. What is an odd degree of fidgeting with weapons?
Did you watch the video?
Play the video. Hey, Mad Dog, can you play the video again?
Oh, God.
Let me go back to the 15-minute mark, and I'll start it there again. Yep.
I just wanted to add that I wasn't calling the people who called the police an idiot for not telling a BB gun apart from a regular gun, because obviously that's difficult.
Well,
actually, a BB. I have a fucking BB gun here, Beretta 92 BB gun.
Yeah, dude, and they look just like the real thing.
Yeah, I mean, from a distance through a window, it's going to be a bit more difficult, obviously.
No, up close, it looks like the real thing because it doesn't have a large tip on it.
Well, it doesn't matter because he wasn't even holding it when he was through all this. He left it in the room.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell apart.
All right, show me where he's fidget. Okay, 40. Show me where the fidget is.
Well, it's not. I didn't watch just this section. I watched from I watched not necessarily the entire thing, but I watched, I think, from 10 minutes onward.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually at the very end of the video, one of the other police officers has to tell him to secure his weapon. And he actually has to, that's when they all step away from the... So this guy...
Well, yeah, he shot somebody, man. He's probably in sort
Hyped.
of half trauma. Like
in his video, he seems like he's enjoying it.
It has nothing to do with enjoyment. That's you're making you're fucking assuming shit.
No, but it actually does seem like
what we can reliably assume here is when you do fire a weapon, what happens? Your adrenaline's fucking flowing. And he just fucking killed somebody. So who knows what he's thinking?
So he's okay. I'm assuming he's yelling at him commands at this very moment.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, the girl. You can't really see because I can't tell what kind of site that is, like a RDS or something like that. It's in the way, but there's a girl leaning to the left, or laying on the left.
That's
on the
his wife is on the floor next to him.
I see her moving.
His flip up sights on his rifle.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, here's the thing. I can't say I blame the cop in this scenario due to the fact that this guy did reach towards his hip. And
fuck off. I'm sorry, but...
hold on. Can you slow down the video when that comes up?
We'll get to this part. He kind of reaches to... in my opinion, it looks like he slips and his hand goes towards his... All
right, so his partner just grabbed the chick, arrested her, put the cuffs on her. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he's now got the guy in his sight.
I mean, there's nothing to prevent this guy from going up there and cuffing him right now.
We really need the audio to get this shit fucking figured out. I mean, there's way too many variables here.
Yeah, well, I think he doesn't go up because maybe he doesn't have someone with him. I think there were 4 to 6 officers in total. But they could have been away knocking on other doors and clearing other rooms out. They could be anywhere.
Yeah, true. Some guy starts fucking crawling towards you though when he's not supposed to.
No, he was told. Listen, he was told to sit on his knees, cross his ankles, and waddle towards the fucking cop. That cop could have went up and fucking arrested him.
Yeah.
And remember, that guy was laying down there for almost 4 minutes.
Well, you guys.
Hey, Matt, can you put the video? Can you put the video in the side chat or something?
Yeah, I will.
We said this
one
before,
of you guys,
right? Why?
Just a second. One of you guys with the better
another tab.
Can you do the sound? Yeah, if you could do the sound, that'd be great. My computer wants to be a bitch.
Well, the thing is, right?
I can't do the sound either, by the way.
I put it in.
I mean, the guy. Why not just get him to face away from you, put his hands behind his back, then you can go up and zip tie him or something. I mean, what is with all of these fucking, trying to get him to do the hokey cokey? That can't be standard arrest procedure by any stretch of the imagination. The guy was getting off on his power trip.
Redbeard, are you able to play the sound? Could you play it from the 15-minute mark or so with the sound?
Yeah, did everyone watch the video at least?
Yeah, we did.
Wolfshot hasn't. She hasn't heard about
seen
this.
it, yeah.
Oh yeah, all of us were Wolfshot.
She can watch it on the side. I mean, it's
Someone else needs to play
I
it.
am watching it. I'm watching it.
as long as everyone has seen the video, it's.
I cannot believe that is in any way, shape, or form normal procedure, or what somebody would be trained to do.
It just seems too domineering and aggressive to be a procedure, doesn't it?
Oh, he's just getting off on power play. I mean, he's really having a power
It
trip.
does seem like that.
Yeah. And you can hear his voice, his breathing getting heavier with it every time that the guy does what he's told. Dance for me, little monkey.
Yeah. How long does anyone know how long this guy has been on the job at that time? Like, is he a rookie or is he a veteran or whatnot?
No, it's good. Well,
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I honestly just think that this is someone who is obviously new to the police force.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
It doesn't. Well, I mean, I don't know what new to the police force, would entitle.
Yeah.
Not
Well, you
exactly
don't give
a fucking
somebody an
police officer,
MP5 if they're new. Give them a pistol at best.
Yeah, how would a new cop fresh out of the academy be on the SWAT team? I don't think that would happen.
No, I mean, he might be new to the SWAT team itself or something. And they just decide, I don't know.
He shouldn't get in the SWAT team unless he's had some experience.
Yeah, I don't know the rank of the SWAT team.
What was he, 26?
Yeah, he was. Both of them were 26.
No, and I would hate to think how many times I've interacted with the cops. If I accidentally slipped up sometime, they could put 5 in me center mass. That's fucked. All right.
Well, there is the possibility that I don't know how, but for all we know, this guy could have just been, maybe it was his first time on point and he was just really jumpy and just being very, very generous here. But it doesn't seem like that.
Well, on the same token, though, what if the other man had never interacted with the police before? He doesn't know what he's doing either at that point. We don't know on either account, right?
Well, but there's a general overarching kind of social contract that one engages in.
It's meant to be trained.
Yeah, I mean, everyone there's a general rule, a guideline that every single person follows when interacting with the police. Keep your hands in view, do what they tell you to do, and yada yada yada. And you're 99.999% of the time you're gonna come out unscathed.
Yeah, but have you ever had a cop tell you to crawl with your legs crossed behind you and your hands out in the air, and if you fall, to just land on your face?
No, but also I've never gone around swinging what could be presumed as a weapon around my hotel room, and then when a cop does tell me to get on the fucking ground and crawl, I'm not shit-faced. And then also, when a cop does tell me to crawl on the ground, I don't reach my fucking hand to my side.
Funny thing, I actually have been in that kind of situation. My friends were waving around BB guns when my mom ran a motel in our old town. She had left town and we had thrown a party. The cops showed up and literally I opened up my back door and there was a gun in my face. And the cops like, you move, I shoot. And I just stopped. But then he didn't make me dance afterwards. He took me into custody, found out there were BB guns, and released us.
Right, but they don't know that there's BB guns.
That's true, but the cop did not make me dance, is what I'm saying. He didn't make me crawl on the ground.
Yeah, we're not talking about the actual BB guns here. We're talking about the procedures.
Well, no, and procedure would state that, hey, if there's any sort of perceived threat, then your safety comes first. As
hey,
opposed
Redbeard,
to
you watch it?
presumably
Redbeard,
be
you
a
watch
criminal.
it?
Sorry.
I think Redbeard might be AFK.
Wolfshot, what do you think now that you heard the cop yelling at him?
Okay. I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but as soon as he is crawling and he gets up and he reaches behind him.
Yes, yeah.
That is the fatal mistake. That
Are you?
Yes, I'm
No.
fucking serious. That is the fatal mistake. He told him 3 times, do not put your hands behind your back, or we will shoot you.
Well, then that fucking cop is a cowardly cunt. Because if you are trying to justify that shit, no, fuck off.
Okay, well, fuck me. Whatever.
There's no justification for what that fucking cop did. None whatsoever. I don't give a fuck.
You can keep yelling at me. That's cool. I don't give a fuck.
Wolfshot, no, wait a second, you guys. If you were in this police officer's position, would you have even had him crawl, or would you have arrested him when he was face down, hands out on the ground?
It depends.
Depends on what?
You can't tell me. You can't put me in a scenario that it all changes. I can only tell you what I might do. And I don't even know SWAT procedure. That's SWAT procedure. SWAT procedure is different than regular police procedure.
That's fair. Okay. 5 shots though.
Well, he could have mag dumped him for fuck's sake.
I do agree it was excessive. I agree it was excessive. I'm not saying it wasn't. However, the moment he got up and reached behind his back, or whatever the fuck he was doing, that's the fatal mistake. And I stand by that.
Yeah, but if he was intoxicated, which I believe he was, he might not have heard, don't put your hands behind your back, because your normal thought, the cops...
No, he heard it. He acknowledged it. I watched it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Yeah, but how many different fucking instructions do they have to give this guy? Right? All they have to do is tell him to turn around, put his hands behind his head. They could have walked up and put, tags on him. That would have been it. Done. Dusted. No, it's like stand up, sit down, put your hands up, put your hands down, lay out in front of me. Now crawl. What the fuck?
No, and that's where...
I'm sorry, but none of that makes any sense. It was like playing the hokey cokey.
And that's what leads me to think that he's a little inexperienced, that this is maybe not the first time, but it's one of the first times he's had to deal with someone who most likely has some kind of weapon, or he's under the suspicion of having a weapon.
Well, and he should never have been in that position. You don't send someone who has no idea what to do. And I mean, like when he was a rookie, he should have been taught how to deal with that situation.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't end up going to fucking SWAT without being able to arrest someone.
And at the end of the day, there should be standard procedures, right? That was no way that you can tell me that that's standard procedure for arresting somebody. Get them to,
I don't think it is.
That kind of shit.
But the thing is that, Voice, you have to understand, it's hard to actually absorb some kind of teaching like that and then apply it. People don't realize how hard it is. I did martial arts for years and years and years and years. But if I get in an actual fight, that shit isn't going to come back to me instantly. I'm not going to be able to do double, triple,
How is it that the majority of American cops don't drill people? It is able to be taught and able to be learned. I mean, the facts that the majority of police don't fucking shoot anybody shows that. So this cunt should never have been in the police in the first place if he wasn't able to learn what he was fucking being taught.
Well, but
the thing is, with every command he gave, he was getting more and more excited. You can hear it in his voice, in his breathing. He's getting off on it.
No, I just
he's not
think
getting off on it. He's getting frustrated.
He's getting, his breath's getting higher and higher. He's getting an adrenaline rush. What do you mean? Getting frustrated? What? By the guy doing what he's telling him to do?
No, I just don't think this. I don't think this guy knows exactly what to do in this scenario. I bet you he with him. I bet you he was the only one, while the other 4 or so guys were off dicking around.
No,
hang on, the 3 cops were right behind him. You didn't hear them?
Were they? No,
the cop didn't know what to do
there
in
were
this situation. Well, fine. How the fuck is the other guy meant to know what the fuck to do when he's been given so many contradictory orders?
Wolfshot.
He doesn't know what to do in this scenario.
Here's the thing. If there's 3 police officers, that man is down, face down, hands out on the ground.
Pathetic.
One man can have the gun on him while the other 2 cops secure the man into custody.
Yeah.
He died over a BB gun, you guys.
Yeah.
He had 2 kids. He had 2 little girls, and he died over a BB gun.
Yeah.
No, he didn't die over a BB gun because remember, he wasn't even fucking armed at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. He didn't die because he had a BB gun in his possession, and on him.
Yeah, he didn't even have a goddamn sub sandwich like that one kid. I mean, is there or isn't there a systematic problem with the police departments in the big cities in these areas? Is there or isn't there?
Well, there is, but there's also a systematic problem with gun crime in these big cities.
Yeah, but the guy didn't have a gun, so you can't use that as an argument.
Yeah, but they don't know
But
that.
the whole reason why they were there is because he had a BB gun and he was showing it out the window, right?
Or not out the window, but someone saw it through the window, yeah.
Saw it through the window. So he had it against the wall. So.
Or whatever, that was the justification to going. I'm not.
Yeah.
I think it's excessive. Yes, of course, I think it's excessive. However, dude, bro shouldn't have reached for his back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true. He shouldn't have done that. But the cop
hang on.
more in the wrong than the
guy. Back. I ask everybody sitting here, right? Get on your knees, cross your ankles with a half dozen beers in you, and try to waddle across the floor and see.
Oh yeah, by the way, don't forget it was the case.
Did I not say it was excessive? Yes, I did.
It's not excessive. It's fucking murder.
Well, Voice, don't forget, it wasn't just cross your legs. It was you have to have your left leg over your right leg, right? I mean, the guy wanted to fucking dictate the leg terms.
It is.
That's standard. Okay, why the left leg over the right then? What's the reason that that's standard procedure?
The left leg over the right leg. I mean, it's just crossing your legs. Generally, it's your left over your right.
Yeah, well, I mean, you cross your legs however you like. Why the fuck was the guy getting so preoccupied with the idea that the guy wasn't complying? Comply, you fucker!
He wasn't complying. I mean...
Jesus. Fucking
well, he was kind of trying. He crossed the wrong leg. Like, come on.
Jesus.
I don't know. That's what I see. That's all. I wasn't there. You know.
I think if you had a fucking gun pointed at you, you'd be able to cross the right fucking leg.
Do you think so?
Redbeard, did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it.
Okay, what do you mean? Under that kind of level of stress, right? Now, the idea is, right, everyone's arguing about the policeman might not have been trained in this way, right? He might not have been trained sufficiently for this. Well, I can assure you that the civilian that was being, you know, like told what to do, he'd never been trained for this scenario either, right? At least the cop's meant to be trained for it. The civilian has no fucking idea what's going on.
Well, what do you think?
What?
What do you think about the video? You watched the video, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your watching with the sound on?
I think the cop overreacted. I think the guy also didn't do what he was supposed to do.
But do you see what I'm talking about? Where he kind of lifts up and reaches behind him?
Yeah, totally.
To me, that looks like a bit of a slippage.
Yeah,
to me also. That's what it looks like.
He fumbled as he was crawling. But why was he even being asked to crawl?
You don't know.
Yeah, but why were they asking him to fucking crawl in the first place? Why not tell him to turn around, put his hands behind his back? What's the fucking
to make sure they don't get fucking shot so they can go home at night. That's what.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
You tell me that you tell him to turn around, put his hands behind his back, that somehow that's going to like make it more likely for him to get shot.
Redbeard, there is 3 police officers with guns there. The man is face down in the carpet. He's going to kill you?
Do you think police want to go to work to fucking kill people? That's not how it works, man.
It's not.
No, but the guy was getting off on the control thing. You can hear it.
No, he wasn't.
In there, Cabbage.
He was. Oh, he was.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, he went off. Right? He jerked off.
Rubbing his.
He jerked off. Yeah, he jerked off afterwards. He went straight to the bathroom. That's why they relieved him so he could relieve himself. Of course. He was getting blue balls at that point.
I could hear. I could hear the frustration.
I mean, we can joke about it all day long, but I mean, seriously though, no one went to work that day saying, "I hope to kill someone today." You know,
No,
Even
no,
the
I
guy-
think, hey, it'd be nice if I managed to do that, if I can get away with it, because, you know, I got a badge, so it'd be cool if it happened.
Even the
Nobody
guy.
said-
Wait a minute.
No one
even
went
the-
out to do it, but it doesn't mean that they didn't want, you know, the
Even-
opportunity.
Even the guy that took the time to engrave "Goodbye, motherfucker" or something like that into his gun jacket for his police issue AR-15, he didn't go to work that day thinking, you know, maybe I want to shoot somebody
So
today.
what? So fucking
So
what?
what? I have a bunch of shit engraved in my ARs.
Yeah,
I
but you're
don't
not a
wake up
fucking
every
cop.
day and hope to kill somebody, you know?
No, but you're not a
Who
cop,
gives a
that's
shit?
the
I mean, there
point.
were in the military. There were plenty of guys wearing patches that say "Good Aloha Snack Bar" and
Yeah.
other shit like that, like "Die Motherfucker" or "Get Some" or whatever the fuck.
Yes, because they're in a fucking war zone. This was
Yeah,
a
they're not-
hotel with a
they're not
drunk
police
guy
officers.
who's on the
But
fucking
so the
ground.
fuck what? Oh my! It's a.
Really?
It's so it. Oh my
all
god!
the
America,
same.
It's the same. It's
criminals.
It's all the same.
It's the
Patches
same
all the
principle.
same.
It's the same fucking principle concept. It's the same general fucking
It's not.
principles at hand.
The
No.
army is different
No.
from the police. The police protect and serve neighborhoods of civilians. Army go into dangerous war
No, I
zones.
feel like I'm arguing with the fucking Queen of England right now.
Red beer.
Honestly.
You know I'm a
I'll be
queen.
back. I'm just getting some tea.
He's Irish to begin with, so
Yes, and I'm actually against the
I mean,
queen.
a
Redfield.
solid
Red-
Irishman, I
I
might
think it was a
say.
justified shooting.
No. I don't think it
Well,
was
you're putting your dick on the line there. You're actually saying that the guy was unreasonable.
Oh,
Okay.
stop. He's siding with you. This is what you want. Stop being so salty.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I've already said that it's hard to tell in a situation like this because you don't know what the guy's thinking, what's going on unless you're in that situation. And looking at it, you can tell the guy was not complying. So the cop could have been freaking out. Should the guy have been
why did he
shot?
have to give him so many orders?
Hey, quiet. Should the guy have been shot? No. Was it justified? Probably not, but I also don't think that I don't think it was malicious.
Okay, well, let's.
I think it was incompetence.
No.
No, I agree. I don't think it was malicious. I think it was incompetence. And I don't think
I
the
don't
guy
think it
should have
was
ever been on the
incompetence
police
either.
force.
I think this is what we call the human element, where the human element comes into play, where that's the wild card, right? Where you have your emotions and all that shit come into play when they really shouldn't. But it happens. It
Yeah, but
does
the guy wasn't even black.
Fucking A. Fucking
If he was black,
Beautiful. Oh man, that was good.
A.
Suppose the guy was black, it'd be a case closed. We wouldn't have this argument.
Yeah, the people have been-
he was
That's
black.
an
They'd
Aryan,
they'd
that's
break
an
into his
Aryan
room and find
son we have
5 tons of
lost.
crack.
Oh, yeah, and you know, on that note, breaking
No.
news. No, wait, breaking news. There's no
That was
riots in
timing.
Mesa. There's no riots in Arizona right now.
Oh shit.
But no, let's move.
Tickled me, man.
Let's move forward a little bit. Let's go to the jury on this case who found the cop innocent. Okay, we're not a full jury panel here, but we're close.
Let's get enough.
Would you
Let's get enough.
would you guys consider that cop not guilty?
Guilty. It ain't gonna be 12 angry men.
And to be fair,
Straight down the line, guilty.
to be fair, he was charged with second-degree murder.
The cop was.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Guilty.
I'm gonna go with not guilty.
I don't think he'd be guilty either.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
What was the question? I had to do something there for a moment.
Oh, do you think that hypothetically, if we're a jury, are you going to vote guilty or not guilty? I know what the answer is, but
Guilty, definitely.
I thought so.
Another
Are you still
Urian. Huh?
Are you still there, Wood?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Now you're good now.
It didn't show.
I think it's very telling that most of the Americans say not guilty, and the good upstanding British say guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, the good upstanding British. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Let's go shoot some innocent Americans. Yeah. That's fine.
How's your truck lately?
Yeah, that's old news. No, that's old news, please.
Oh, we don't. Well, then we don't have to think about it then, right? It's just old hat.
Hey, look, you had your own. What about your truck's a fucking piece? Shut up.
How's that no border wall going for you
Gentlemen, trucks
guys?
of peace is part and parcel of living in a big city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Good old-
that's
good old
just what
city.
happens when you live in a big city, you guys.
That's right. Well, you know, that wasn't that was the RoboCop quote, right? You know, when the guy gets shot by Ed 209, you know, and he said, "That's the price of living in the big city."
No, he said that's a glitch.
Yeah, no, but when they go into the elevator afterwards, and like after the guy's been blown to shit, and the guys are going down, he goes, the cost of living in a big city. You don't remember that?
No, I don't know. But then
Oh,
my
check it
memory-
out, mate.
anyways.
Yeah. RoboCop 1, after Red 209 shoots the guy in, you know, with the fucked up demonstration, and they go into the elevator afterwards. So that's cost of living.
Actually, you know what someone should do? And this is going to sound really bad.
Meme it.
What
Meme
someone
that
should do,
fucker.
no, what someone should do is put the title of the video we just watched on top of the start of RoboCop where the guy gets killed in the boardroom.
God damn it.
Oh, that wouldn't please Wolfie. Because Wolfie thinks he's innocent.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. You
Well,
think
she
that
is a woman, so, you know,
Yeah,
we can't take her
Well,
opinions
no, she's going to be
seriously.
a cop. Or is that? It's always the hormones.
yep,
Probably on the period.
yep.
Maybe he was on his man period.
Yep.
Okay, well, I want to stick with the police brutality angle. What other examples do we have? We have Ferguson. That was an example a few years ago. The cop in that was found not guilty. Also, is there?
Hang on, no, hang on, Madge. Are you talking about the one that cop got attacked by the big fucker who tried to grab for his gun? Because that was that I would say was
that was Ferguson. I was talking about the other one where the 16-year-old was killed because he had a Subway sandwich.
I never actually heard that.
Yeah, the cop said that it looked like a gun. It was just a sandwich wrapped or a burrito or something wrapped in tin
Yeah,
foil.
it was a Subway.
Bench. It makes a big difference.
Generally speaking, when somebody gets shot, generally the blacker they are and the more criminal they look, the bigger the uproar is.
No, see, that's bullshit though. Like, oh, he had a hoodie on. He could be hiding a gun. I wear hoodies all the time. Am I hiding a fucking gun? Like, what the fuck?
Well, are you also robbing convenience stores?
Not today. No, kidding. no, I'm not.
True men rob convenience stores with a longbow.
You know, I have a compound bow hanging on the wall, so that's an idea. I should go to the liquor store real quick. I'll be right back.
They won't give. If you do that, they probably won't give you the liquor out of fear. They'll give it to you out of respect.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you actually did it.
There you go, Red. Get your sword and your shield and go free some rum.
No, that'd be great. I can see them. I can see them talking to the cops. I got robbed by fucking Robin Hood. Motherfucker.
No, dress up as a 13th century English longbowman and just walk in there and just pull the bow cord back.
Yes, with your Viking beard, you could go raid some English townships for their convenience store liquor. God damn it!
And ask them for their women as well.
No,
Let's take
but-
their gold crosses and whatnot. What was that, Mad Dodge?
No, but isn't there a pattern here where the cops shoot somebody or kill somebody's dog and they get away scot-free? And then on the other hand, you have a civilian who defends his home and he goes to prison.
Well, hang on, no, you're talking about two different things here. I will say that the majority of American cops, just like the majority of British cops and cops most everywhere, you know, they're decent people. It's only the few that fuck things up. So let's not just brand all police with the same brush. And there was a second point, but I forgot it. So talk amongst yourselves.
Well, yeah, generally there is a trend amongst people getting shot by police, and it has to do with taking one of your hands and moving it to your side and or behind your back, where most people conceal weapons under their waistband.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, okay, if multiple unarmed people are doing this, shouldn't they just tell them to put their hands on their head and take a knee and then handle it?
Here's what you
No,
do.
you shouldn't tell them to take a knee. No, that's killing football. No taking a knee.
Oh, come on now.
You're having a situation where the cop has a gun on you. Don't fucking move and just say, I want you to tell me where to move my right hand, where to move my left hand, and how to fucking go about this. You are in charge, officer. That's what you do. The officer needs to be in charge. You don't.
Well, I don't think that guy got a chance to talk to the officer, because when he talked to him, he literally told him, "Don't fucking talk," didn't he? Or something like
Okay, so listen to him. Don't fucking talk.
Well, that's just rude.
Hey, if he sat there and didn't move, he wouldn't have
that.
got
He
shot.
told him to move.
No, yeah, he told him to move. If he would have sat there and didn't do anything and didn't
Pretty sure he
comply,
did.
he would have been shot 2 minutes earlier.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure that he even gives him contradictory orders. Because at one point he says, "Keep your hands in the air," and then
No.
later he says, "Put them on the ground and crawl towards me."
If you're not a threat, you're not going to be shot. As a moving subject can be seen as a threat.
Yeah, I understand that, but it seems
Then why tell him to
overseas
move?
is a bit much.
That's my whole point. It should have ended when he was face down on the carpet,
And
hands out.
I just watched a couple SWAT arrest videos. I'm not sure of their credibility and such, but it usually ends with the SWAT personnel going towards. I'm not sure of these actual credible SWAT videos. I just watched a couple. I'm not an expert or anything, but it usually ended with them going towards the person that they're arresting, slapping some handcuffs on him, and walking out with them.
Yeah, because if in my opinion, if the suspect is down, incapacitated, and you're the one moving, you have the initiative and you can adjust and make decisions better than if you make the guy move at you.
On these,
Am I wrong? Bullshot, is that a wrong assumption on my part?
Guys, SWAT is not the same thing as what was happening here.
Yeah, but you're talking about SWAT. These people are meant to be able to shoot. What happens to? Why couldn't they have shot him in the leg or the shoulder? No, it was
No,
just
you don't.
full auto and fire.
No, you don't shoot to maim.
It's
Because
true.
you can fuck up too easily. You don't do that.
So you put 5 center mass?
Well, again, they should be taught to shoot.
It's
If
excessive.
they can't take down
I
a
will agree.
suspect
It
in the
was
leg,
excessive.
Well,
Like,
true.
I've-
If I was that guy, I'd rather end up dead than being paralyzed from the neck down. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I think his daughters would disagree with you.
this is what you have to take away from that video. If you hear swatter in the building, jump out the window. Avoid
Yeah, right.
contact.
You're better luck with gravity.
Yeah.
You know, the
Well,
thing that
then-
gets me with this is that, I mean, okay, I can understand that there's a sort of respect for the, people who are in, taking the risks and everything, the fact that somebody's going to be a police officer. But this one it's got nothing to do with that. This is a clear case of where somebody was either ill-trained, ill-prepared, incompetent, whatever it happens to be. And You know, it'd be far better if, you know, people actually said, yeah, in this situation, it's wrong, it's bad. But people are trying to justify it, and I don't get that. There is no justification for it.
Well, I didn't say
There
that.
isn't.
We're not saying that it's... Sorry, go on, Redbeard.
I was just saying I disagree with Cabbage. Having been through, you know, certain types of training like this, what can you use to justify deadly force and all that? I've been through all that training, and it's I think it's all it's not all black and white, you know. Obviously, there's emotions involved, and I don't think obviously we all agree there's no malicious intent here. So I don't think it was bad training or anything.
Really? So, all right. So he made him go through all those fucking calisthenics in order to, you know, not confuse him. I mean, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Cross your legs, put your hands up, lay down, you know, stand up, you know, fucking dance for me, baby. You know, all he had to do was tell him to turn around and put his hands behind his back, right?
No, we don't know.
Calisthenics bullshit was nothing to do with it. That was poor training.
No, we honestly don't know if there was a twister board off to the left. We never saw.
It could have been, exactly. Maybe there was a band too. We just didn't hear it. Well, seriously, I'm sorry. I don't understand how people can justify it. Look, when somebody fucks up, then that's when, you know, those particular institutions like the police or whatever should actually accept the fact that this was bad and we got to resolve it. Otherwise, it's not going to get any better. You know, the idea that you just keep putting it aside and say, "Nah, we can justify it somehow through some spurious, rhetorical nonsense." No. At the end of the day, it's
very
in a
easy.
big way.
It's not to come at someone from
Brailsford did nothing wrong.
Right. It's very easy to look at this video and be like, "This cop was just crazy. He's trigger happy." But if you've seen the videos where going through this sort of training, where people crawl towards you and then all of a sudden pull out a gun from nowhere and shoot your ass.
Yeah, but why get him to crawl towards you then? Just tell him to turn around, put his hands behind his back, and then you go up and zip tie him. What the fuck? We put your hands up, put your hands down, splay out.
I don't know.
Do this,
maybe I think maybe Cabbage should reinvent the tactical procedure for capturing prisoners. You know, he obviously has it all figured out. So go ahead, Cabbage.
Standard, arrest procedure. It's just fucking
no, hang on. SWAT is meant to have flashbangs. What was to prevent them from throwing one down the hall, smang, run down, beat the shit out of the cunt, and arrest him? You know, at least he's alive. He's bruised, but he's alive. You know, there's a whole lot of different things they can use. They have all these little toys, and the first thing they go to is the gun. There's a whole lot of things they could have used before the gun. I mean, it could have waited until he was on the ground and shot him with a taser a few times. You know, anything. But no, it was straight away. Shoot. That's the only problem I have is that again maybe
here's why, because they got a call saying some guy is brandishing a firearm in a window, so you don't come to a firearm fight with a taser. That's
you can bring the gun, but you bring the taser as well as the gun on the flashbang.
I'm sorry, if you're brandishing a firearm, I'm not bringing a taser. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Redbeard on that.
Bloodthirsty fucking Yanks.
No, as American citizens, we have a presumption of innocence. This man's presumption of innocence went out the window when they put 5 in his chest.
The presumption of innocence went out the window when you decide to brandish what looks like and what can be considered a deadly weapon.
Exactly. Okay, so tell me this.
Thank you, 40.
You're standing in your house with your gun. Someone sees it, calls the SWAT, they come in, pump 5 in you. Is that legal and justified or not?
This wasn't his house.
Well,
this was a hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's still.
I'm not standing up. I'm not standing up for this police officer. I'm just saying that it wasn't his house.
You can't conflate. There's a difference between a hotel with a whole bunch of people in it versus your house.
What if this was at a gun show? You know, because there's a lot of gun shows. What if someone had just bought a gun that day, was polishing it in his room, doing nothing?
Well, this guy was
in his room.
The thing is that this guy was with his friends in his room, and he was kind of showing it off and flamming it around and going, "Hey, look at this! Look at this cool gun I have! Look at this airsoft rifle."
Well, no, he was no. What I think happened is he was like, "Check out the scope I use on this or whatever," and he pointed it.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was saying about.
Yeah, and that's stupid. I admit that. That's dumb. But is it worth 5 in the chest? Come on now. You're not going to convince me it is.
I'm not here to convince you of anything.
Well, it wasn't even 5 in the chest because the guy was on his fucking belly at the time. Jesus, I can't understand why anyone's trying to justify this. I really can't. It's mind blowing.
Okay, does anyone in the chat think that the cop did the right thing in the situation?
Hey, listen, that's the whole point, right? Second-degree murder. I don't believe that the cop went out there intentionally wanting to just shoot somebody randomly that day. But, you know, that was second-degree murder because there's no way that guy could just... There were so many ways that he could have avoided that situation. Just by using his, you know, what you would hope would be, you know, his standard training. Turn around, put your hands behind your head, and go up and zip tie him. Instead of fucking calisthenics. That nonsense. It's fucking ridiculous.
Right, but that's your idea.
That's just poor training.
It's training. Not exactly what Redbeard said. That's your
nonsense.
You know, it's like
it is mine. So demonstrably real.
No,
it's
unlike
opinion, but it's demonstrably real because you can see the fucking thing happening.
Unlike the mainland Britain, here in Northern Ireland, our cops have guns. And there is a lot of people who also have guns who aren't cops and really shouldn't have them. And yet the number of shootings here is nothing. So, you know.
That's funny you say that because most of the shootings here are in Chicago, where all the black folk are.
Well, there you go.
We don't use guns here. We don't use guns in Britain. We adopt the cultural innovation that the generous, culturally enriched Pakistanis have given to us.
No.
Okay,
but don't forget the trucks. Don't forget the trucks. We don't.
Oh, yes,
no, you want to take a look at this cop who actually pulled the trigger, though. 6 months later, he was fired, not only for the dust jacket carving, but also for violating rules while out on patrol and other shit.
Should I put the video in the chat? The people in the...
Hey, Mod, have you seen his picture?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, the motherfucker's all tatted up. Like, he looks more like MS-13 than a cop.
Tell me, did he have a... Did he have a 7
based on his tattoos?
Did he have a mustache?
Fuck me.
That was a joke. Give me a break. That was a joke. Fuck around.
Did he have a mustache? You know, the idiots.
No, I don't think so.
It's the tash that makes it.
Yep.
No tash, he wouldn't have done it.
You see a cop with a mustache, run away.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but he was in the chat, but it's not working.
No, but he wasn't fired for this incident, but he was fired for gross misconduct. This was a bad police officer. He should not have had point and the control of the situation, in my opinion. No rebuttal. Nobody calling me an idiot. Is this still the Redeye?
The reading's getting higher and higher and higher.
Mad Dodge, I'm trying to put the link to the video in the chat for the other people to see, but it's not going into the chat.
Oh, type in the chat. You might not be an ad. Have a wrench. I'll give you a wrench.
I usually just put the video in or someone that's I should just put the video in the side chat for the people to see, because I think that there's a guy that says that he has some experience in this kind of stuff in the thing.
Yeah, either just type in the chat and I'll give you a wrench and you can post it, or throw it in the side chat here and I'll post it. But yeah, okay, so, I mean, what about the cops fucking shooting dogs? That happens almost on a regular basis now.
Well, dogs have no rights, sorry.
Well, we're not talking.
No,
we're not talking about.
No, I would rather police shoot people than fucking dogs and pets because they don't know any better. So no, don't fucking start shooting dogs, you cunt.
Well, the problem with that is the dogs don't know any better, so they attack the police. So just sit there and get attacked.
Well, here
the police don't know how to run. Get in their cop cars.
They're not supposed to run.
I was about to say,
This is America.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not fucking Disney. Like we are over there in fucking Ireland.
Yeah,
you cops open up with shit here.
You just fucking open up on anything by, I mean, some poor old fucking lady with her fucking blind guide dog comes along and the cops shoot it and Red's like, yeah, kill that fucking dog. Fuck that guy.
That's never happened.
Guide dogs are fucking blind as well.
If a dog is actively pursuing a police officer or actively attacking a police officer, that police officer has the right to shoot it.
Right. I've seen pit bulls.
Okay. No, but
I agree with both Shot and Redbeard on this thing.
Wait a minute. No, that's fair. But some of these shootings, the family dog, the owner's like, hey, can I put the dog over here, you know, and like right here, you can watch me, just put him in the other room and shut the door. And they're like, no. And then the dog barks and they're like, bam, fucking shoot the fucker. And we're not talking about a pit bull or a Rottweiler. We're talking about a fucking lab or a black lab or something.
Well, it was black. There's the problem.
Man, even fucking black labs can't. Even
black lab lives
can't.
matter.
That's right. They can't even catch a break in America. What's wrong with you people?
we have to give the black Labradors reparations.
Black labs massive.
Yeah, no, and I want them to be able to go to college in higher rates than white labs.
Yeah, what about the ginger labs?
No, they can die. They're evil.
They don't have souls. They don't have souls.
Sacrifice them to the Dark Lord.
Well, that's the only dogs that don't get to go to heaven.
That's pretty fucking good. I mean, I don't agree with cops shooting dogs just because the dog is standing there or some shit. But
you're a wolf. You're meant to be defending animals.
I do defend animals, but if the dog is actively attacking a police officer, the police officer has the right to shoot him.
Dogs is that you can't negotiate with a dog really. Like they're loyal to their owner, and if
It's
no,
like
wait a
this
minute.
one. The cops have to carry a gun, a taser, and a bag of Snoopy snacks.
No, this is what I want to know. Here is my direct issue with the cops killing the family dog. Okay, the cop kills the dog. They're like, hey, that's a dog. No big deal. Even if they're raiding the wrong house, which has happened. They think a house is a drug house. They come in, they kill the fucking family dog, and it's just a regular family. Now, if a fucking police German Shepherd with sharp-ass teeth and the will to bite me in the ass is chasing me, and I kick that fucker, I just kicked a police officer. I go to fucking prison. But they can shoot my dog? They can shoot my dog? Fuck their dog, then.
That police officer probably has a reason for fucking tracing you. In the first place.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I still have a presumption of innocence, even when I'm running from the dog. Damn it!
Yeah, that dog don't give a fuck about your fucking innocence.
You know what you sound like right now, Mad Dog? You sound like those. I'm a free national or whatever the fuck. Those
I'm a sovereign citizen.
sovereign citizen. Yeah.
Oh, you know how many of them motherfuckers I dealt with?
No, but
Too goddamn many.
No, seriously though. But why is a police dog considered almost like a human being, but the family dog is shit?
Extensive years of training to become reliable, unlike your fucking dog.
How do you know? I could have put my dog through motherfucking doggy college, motherfucker.
Well,
you
then it wouldn't lunge at a police officer, would it?
Yeah, fucking A.
At the end of the day, they probably don't give a damn about the family dog. They care about getting the job done. I mean, if you're going in there to arrest someone, what are you thinking? I'm going to arrest this person. You're not thinking, oh, how do I save little Dr. Snuffy or whatever the dog's name is? No.
Yeah,
if
but they're
gets
going
in your way, you
would.
shoot it in
They're serving. Wood, they're serving search warrants in the wrong houses and then shooting the family dog and being like, "Oh,
I know,
sorry, have a good day." Really?
That literally does
Understandable.
not
Have a
happen.
nice day.
That does not fucking happen, dude.
Oh,
You're living,
okay.
That's a
you're
rarity.
living in a fucking fantasy world. I'm sorry, dude.
All right, I'll be back in 30 seconds. Quick Google search away.
If it does happen, it's probably quite rare.
What happens? Police officers shooting dogs just to shoot them?
Like, no, and
No, going into the
going
wrong
to the
house.
house and shooting the family dog for shits and giggles.
God damn it.
Well, I don't think it's for shits and giggles, but I mean,
Figure of speech.
police are human. They're fallible. You know, it's like
Yeah, shit happens on
All
accident.
humans are fallible. It's
And-
human
and
nature.
that's-
we get things wrong.
And that's the thing. I mean, these police dogs and these seeing eye dogs and all that other shit. They've gone through massive amounts of training. They've gone through about as much training as any police officer goes through. So, and these are relatively smart animals, and they're not complete idiots. These are dogs that have been trained. But some rando bitch who I'm gonna get a bulldog or I'm gonna get a this or that or any dog, whether it is conceived to be a threat or not.
a large dog.
Yeah, any kind of large dog. Who's to say that person didn't train their dog? Who's not to say that dog is overly aggressive? It's not like they're a perceived threat for a reason.
So basically, when it comes to shooting any suspect, it's okay if the suspect is dumb. 40 ounce 2017.
Yeah.
Okay, so this woman says the Detroit police killed her dog in wrong house raid. Okay.
Yeah, there's literally no proof.
And there's another one. There's another one right after that too.
There's
So 2
literally-
in 30 seconds.
Sorry, Mad Dodge, but literally no proof saying that this dog was just standing there eating its puppy chow and got shot. All
Yeah,
the woman
okay, but
says is,
they
"I was
raided the
getting
wrong
handcuffed.
house.
I was
People
getting
are
handcuffed."
fallible. I said that. People are they're people.
And we
Shit
don't know if
happens.
the dog
Mistakes
attacked or
happen.
what.
She can
The
go
dog
back. She's gonna sue the police department. How much you want to fucking bet?
I sure as fuck would.
Well, then there you go. She gets the money and probably more so for a fucking dog.
Yeah, but
how
what
do
if
you
she loved that
respond?
fucking dog?
Well, boo-hoo. Sorry.
Unfortunately, the real world is the real world, man.
Daddy, why can't I have a puppy for Christmas? Sorry, SWAT shot it.
Well,
Well, that would be funny. I mean,
Well, maybe don't get yourself where SWAT needs to come to your fucking home.
Hey, it's not illegal to cook meth, mate.
You know what I mean? Maybe just try being a good fucking citizen so your dog doesn't get killed by the police.
Are you fucking kidding me? So they searched the wrong house, but she's a bad citizen? Is that what you're saying?
The grandma was dealing crack.
no, it's dude. Dude,
She
you gotta
didn't
understand.
believe in Jesus, Mad Dog.
okay, you know what? She was black. Okay, guys, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she was black.
Okay, then.
She's
There's
lucky
a
she
dog.
didn't get shot. Okay. Fuck
Oh,
her.
is she actually?
That's fucked. It was in Detroit. I bet
It was
she's
in
right.
Detroit, and it was a pit bull. So you go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, you know what? Fuck
The
go
it.
ahead.
negatory has increased tenfold.
Why are pit bulls automatically more dangerous than anything else?
Well,
I don't like that
because
either.
they have,
I have a pit bull.
Stereotype.
Go ahead,
they
Rip.
tend to have a little harsher temper, but it's not always the case.
Hashtag not always.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
these
not
are,
all Muslims, you know.
yeah,
Yeah,
these are
hashtag.
dogs. These are dogs that have lockjaws, and if they are taught to be aggressive, there's very little coming back from that.
Oh
You know,
yeah, they can
lockjaws.
fuck you up.
They're not a perceived threat because of the fact that they're normally aggressive. They're a perceived threat because of their literal ability to latch on and not let go until you're fucking bleeding out, like on the fucking sidewalk.
Right, my buddy, he has 2 pit bulls. I fucking love those dogs. We wrestle around, just fuck around. Good dogs, you know, but they're not trying to kill me, you know.
How do you know, Red? How do you know they're not setting you up for future? You know, one time you visit once too often and boom, they'll be having red steaks.
Oh fuck that! I'd fuck them up.
Got to say, Red probably carries.
No, Red takes a big bite out of the dog instead.
They get a couple rounds of 9 through the head.
I'm half Asian, so I just eat the dogs if they try anything.
There you go.
That's fucked. That's fucked.
Just throw them on the wok and stir fry them for a bit.
We can work together. I'll kill the dogs, and we can split.
I'll sell them as the number 3 on the menu.
Well, I'm definitely not having the number 3. I'm good.
the lunch
That's
special.
fucking awesome.
We've all learned that if Wood ever asked us back to his house for dinner, no one goes.
Hey, where'd the pit bulls go? Oh, and they're out.
I love pit bulls. My best friend, he's got 4 of them, and they're the sweetest fucking dogs. But I've met some fucking pit bulls that were just mean, like savage, like fucking.
I'm sorry, Wolf. I'm sorry, Wolf. Your ex-girlfriends don't count.
Well, I mean, fucking A, right? Like, dude, seriously, it's so true.
When I was on a holiday in Italy, there was a guy that had 2 dogs, a pit bull and this tiny little like a purse rat dog. You know those dogs that you put inside your purse that look like a rat. Purse rats, that's what I call them. And the pit bull was the nicest creature that anyone could ever see. But the purse rat was the most aggressive piece of vile hellspawn ever.
True.
Like, once it actually got out and attacked my grandma.
Yeah, small dogs are just fucking
That's
assholes.
Luckily, nothing happened. It just.
I can see it. There's
it
Wood's
was-
poor grandma trying to beat this little fucker off with a
No, my grandma was actually really good with dogs, so she calmed it down somehow. Like, that was the only time I ever saw that dog not barking like a mad creature.
Wait, is your grandma the fucking dog whisperer? Is that what's going on?
The thing is that little dogs might be little assholes and bite at you, but you can like slap them off of you, you know. But if
you can punt that motherfucker across the field goal, you know.
Yeah, but if a pit bull decides to bite you, you're fucking going down.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's okay to shoot the pit bull, but not the purse rat.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to coin that term now, purse rat.
Well, the purse rat isn't like 100 pounds of muscle and locking jaws and, you know.
Not 100 pounds. Buddy has one that's 200 pounds.
God damn. That's a big fucking dog.
200-pound pit bull.
What, a 200-pound purse rat?
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. How big is this pit bull's head? Like half its weight's in that blockhead, huh?
This dog is fucking gigantic, dude.
That's Boss, man.
Yeah, actually, his name is Boss.
That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is awesome.
That's awesome.
His name's Boss.
Cat's name is just Edward.
Edward? That's my son's middle name.
My best friend, his pit bull, the largest pit bull, she's about 150 pounds or 100 pounds. She's fucking huge. Her name is Jolene. Yes.
Jolene.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't think it's exactly 200. I think it's like 180 or 195, something around there. He was telling me, but regardless,
Big fucking dog.
It's a huge fucking dog. Yeah.
And most of that is muscle, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, wrapping this back around to the police. When did Andy Griffith turn into the fucking Marines? When did this transition from the military, or military? I almost want to call the police a military. When did this transition happen, and why?
Who?
Well, to
Andy
handle
Griffith?
places like
You don't know who Andy Griffith is? You fucking Irish bastard.
Who is this Andy?
The Andy Griffith show.
I blame
You don't remember that
hippies, honestly.
Well, Mad Dodge. Detroit and Chicago are already war zones, so you probably need a more militaristic police anyway.
Yeah, I mean those are the only places you ever find these, quote unquote militaristic police. And granted, I don't agree with you, but I mean, I don't want them to have this stuff, but at the same time, they also do need it.
Well,
I don't know if
this
they need
was
fucking
Arizona, but I guess
Do
that's an
they-
exception.
40 ounce. They need a goddamn tank, an armored fucking vehicle and shit.
They don't have tanks, right?
They have
It's not like
armored. They have armored vehicles. Like
yeah, armored vehicles, but it's not like they're rolling around downtown Chicago in a fucking APC, you know, mowing down. There's some Negroes over there. Let's go get them. You know,
I never said that. I never said that.
Right,
I never
even.
even.
They're rolling down streets in fucking tanks.
No, they're buying the military issue equipment. That's a fact. That's what Rand Paul wanted to stop. I mean, that is a fact.
But
Fuck
let's
Rand
be
Paul.
honest, Matt. But let's be honest, Matt. It's secondhand, so how could it be? Like, you know, it's probably got things
you know
dropping
what?
off. Engine doesn't work properly.
A secondhand APC is fucking still an APC or whatever. You know, armored personnel carrier. Yeah, that's
You
still
don't
an
know how many times thing went blown up underneath that. You don't know how good the armor still is. You know, it's Chauncey, lad.
Well, just make sure you don't get it from the Afghanistan or Iraq war. Get it from the warehouse that stayed in the States.
We actually used to have APCs over here during the Troubles. Oh, we had the full works. If you've ever heard of a Sarsen.
So, no, but 40 ounce. You support the militarization of the police force as we're seeing it? I mean...
No, I didn't say I did. I said I didn't support it.
Oh, okay, sorry. I misunderstood you then.
No,
But you,
he's
you did say that they need it. You did say that they need it. Do they need APCs? Like, really?
No, they don't. They don't need APC. Well, or fuck. I mean, I don't know. They might need a
I
fucking
would have needed
APC.
it if Antifa's 4th of November thing actually happened.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
honestly,
they
with
needed
all
an
the-
APC during Waco, didn't they? I mean, that obviously made everything better.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean-
You want to get me started
for
on Waco.
fuck's sake, Waco. God damn.
Yeah.
I'm
Wake
sorry,
up to Waco.
Hang on, I'm sorry, 40. You live in fucking California with Stockton and all the fucking gangs. You do need fucking APCs.
No, that's what I was about to say. Well, not for the gangs, but the thing is that there has been a massive uptick recently in just large-scale riots, and so I can see how if you're looking at observable trends, you could be like, okay, right. In some of these larger cities, they're probably going to need heavier equipment to transport troops. They're probably going to need, you know, beanbag launchers, and you know they're going to need extra smoke grenades. Or, I mean, for fuck's sake, you know, it's like there's riots and there's protests for every little thing every other day. So I can see why you're going to need this kind of precaution.
I vote for a compromise. Why don't we have the regular police called the police, and then we have the more militaristic version, the nigger control.
Oh, fuck. Damn, Wood.
How's your video, sir?
Oh
Wow.
my god.
Monetization went out the window.
Yeah, go bye-bye.
Muzzle.
That was a
Yeah,
big
Muzzle, rip up that ad revenue.
Wolf's duty for her.
Oh, there is no ad revenue. I haven't got paid by Google. Like, it'll be a year here soon, and I've only made like $33 total. I can't even cash out.
You're just not trying hard enough. That's what it is. You're a libertarian. Put some elbow
That's
grease
funny,
in.
Matt Dodge. I've made about as much as you have.
Oh, you've been on here a lot longer too, haven't you?
Not quite. No, I don't think so. But have I?
I don't know. I started last December 28th. I made my YouTube account. It's going to be a year here very soon.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer than you. Yeah, but I've made about the same. It's really weird.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah.
Yeah, Adpocalypse 2.0 too, bitch.
I know. Surely we're up to 3.0 by now, aren't we? What do you have?
Yeah, YouTube. You know what YouTube Rewind should have been? It should have been the toilet bowl just fucking going down.
This is the Coriolis effect.
God damn it.
I mean, seriously. Yeah, and PewDiePie, that is the turd in the toilet. And he's just yelling nigger as he goes down. See, Wood already said it. I might as well. Shit. See what you did, Wood? You're fucking corrupted the libertarian. No.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, the police has been a bit out of control, and the drug war, I would say, is fueling the fire that made them militarized. Right? Just like Prohibition did the same. Prohibition, and also the bank robberies of the Dust Bowl era is what created the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
the
rise of the cartels, right? It was the mafia, the rise of the cartels.
No, they were created to chase down Dillinger and his ilk.
Yeah, but with the wasn't the you know, when you had the you know, you're saying the Prohibition. I thought that's where the cartels kind of got their footholds, wasn't it?
That is, yeah, like Chicago, Al Capone, Chicago, and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so back then they had Tommy guns and shit, and the police didn't have APCs, and they did all right. They won in the end, did they not?
Well,
I mean, mate, look where did NASCAR come from? NASCAR came from the cars that they used to use for moonshining. Yeah, see, outpaced the cops.
Yeah, and now NASCAR won't even allow the Confederate flag. Fuck me. That's when I stopped watching NASCAR. I was a big Earnhardt Jr. fan.
You know, too much white privilege.
Yeah, they started getting all fucking libtarded, and I was like, all right, no more NASCAR.
NASCAR is no place for liberals and cucks.
Yeah.
You're done. Another left turn.
NASCAR is only reserved for Republicans and people who like incest.
Hey now, wait a minute. No, but yeah, I don't want to get sidetracked with NASCAR. I was going to talk about Junior retiring and how that's going to impact NASCAR itself, but never mind. We'll stick with the police. Any other thoughts on the militarization, or am I just the only one here that says let's cut it out?
No, I agree with you, mate.
Like, let's cut some funding here. Okay, so I sold police equipment for about 2 years. That's what I did.
That's the answer.
And
cut funding.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the answer.
Well, no.
Yeah, but the thing is, no, the militarization, mate. No, the reason that the militarization happened was that the government it's got all of this equipment that it's already put away of basically doing maintenance of it. Right now, they either stick it in a big field and let it rot, or they could pass it on, and so it became part of a big program that they would pass it on so that at least it would be maintained, but the states would take responsibility for the cost of maintenance of this equipment, so it would still be effectively field ready, so to speak, right? Because they've already paid for it. It's like like there's the planes, you see that enormous place is it in Arizona? Massive amounts of planes just sitting there rotting. It was just end up with the same thing with tanks and APCs and everything else. So they just put them out to the police forces.
Well, here's the thing. This is why I think some of the funding needs to be cut, is because I sold police equipment. So the big time of the year when we would make our money would be at the end of every quarter, because it was a budget ending. So they didn't spend their whole budget. They still had like 4,000 or 5,000 left, even these small police departments that I called in Georgia and places like that. And at the end, they would just spend it all on crap they didn't need, or else their budget would go down.
Yep.
And so if they're doing that already, then your budget needs to go down. You're good. You have a stockpile. I mean, you're all right.
You must support. That's the thing. Nobody's admitting that they're doing it. They know they're doing it, but they're not admitting they're doing it.
What does them buying an APC affect?
What does it affect? Your civil liberties? Like,
how are your civil liberties affected?
Mad Dog is now the ACLU, you guys.
No, there's a separation between the military. We're not supposed to have a military going through our streets.
We're not talking about a military.
Yes, we are.
All I'm talking about is how are the police getting their hands?
Because you're turning them into a military force. You are turning them into a military, and then saying,
you're not turning them into a military force.
They executed this guy like a military would have.
Hey, MC, did you see that fucking video?
No, they did not.
Paramilitary.
MC, did you see that video?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
I think the cops reacted stupidly, but it is what it is. These are tragedies that happen. Okay, the idea that somehow you're going to prevent all cops, all right, in every situation.
MC will agree with anything.
You know, you can interrupt me again. All right, it's not a matter of agreement. I'm not agreeing that the cop did the right thing. All right, so don't put words in my mouth. But the thing is that yes, these kind of things do happen. Now, like it or not, the jury basically determined that this guy was not culpable for second-degree murder. Okay, that it went to a jury, it went to the trial. The guy got tried just like a normal person would get tried. All right, you're making an issue out of the fact that, oh my God, this was a cop. Oh my God, this was a bad cop. Well, guess what? There's a lot of bad people that go to trial every single year and get off.
Well, and the other thing is,
things happen.
And the other thing is we're not saying
cops are meant to be held to a higher standard, aren't they?
Well, wait a minute, Cabbage. Let 40 get his.
They have the
40, go ahead.
Okay. The thing is that the people on this panel that are saying, right, yes, the cop who shot this guy was justified due to the fact that this guy reached his hand behind his back or his side, and this is the pattern. If you violate that social contract that's in place that says I won't make any threatening moves towards the police officer, then there's culpability. There's culpability there. There's a chance you're going to get shot. But the thing is that we're not saying that it is a good thing that this person got shot. We're just saying, like, you know, these are the rules, regulations that are in place. This is the social contract, and it got violated. That doesn't mean that we're happy that this person got shot. No one here on this panel is saying that it's a good thing that this person got shot in the hallway of a fucking motel. No one here is saying that at all.
No, but
this was a military-style action. Mad Dog, like you seem to think it is. As soon as he came out of that door, he'd have been shot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
do not conflate
MC,
this is military.
MC, I was being facetious. I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll pull back on that. I was being facetious. But really, okay, I don't see how he was being threatening. Yes, his hand went down. I saw the footage. Can't deny it. It's right there. But he also had his hand on his head. He didn't know what the fuck to do, man. Come on. He was confused.
He warned him. He verbally warned him.
If you are a police officer and you see this, even if you do warn him, how can you justify to yourself to pull the trigger on this guy? You have two other officers with you. Yeah, one has the female cuffed. They have to watch it. So you have one other guy at least. You have this situation under control. You should guard the subject and send the other cop to secure him when he was face down in the carpet.
Like they felt that they had that situation under control.
That cop didn't. He didn't sound like he knew anything.
Oh, okay. So
I heard him yelling.
So your idea of when control was achieved and when they thought control was achieved are at divergent points already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not justifying. Once again, I'm not trying to justify the actions. I'm just telling you the situation from their point of view was different. Now, when this guy pulled the trigger and he killed this guy, you can look at it and say, well, I think that he was legitimately in fear for his life, and that's why he did it. That's what the jury decided. Okay?
Yeah, I want to know who picked that fucking shit show of a jury.
You have like every jury out there. You got the prosecution and you got the defense, and they bring in a pool of people. All right, and they pick, and they go back and forth, and they pick.
Here's what I think. I don't think the prosecution was all in on this. I think they were like, it's a cop. We're gonna play fucking softball. Because that jury, no, it should have been a hung jury if nothing else. Look at that footage. You have how many people on this panel?
How many times have you sit up there and argued? How many times have you argued for jury nullification?
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Sorry.
No, I knew this was coming. MC has already thrown this at me. You're right. You're absolutely right. If I was on that jury, though, guilty.
But
I don't see how 9 people all came to the same conclusion with this footage.
But you weren't.
It probably wasn't just the footage. P.S.
Oh no, there was more than just the footage in the trial. I'm sure of that. but they were shown the footage. All right, they were shown, then they were explained a lot of different things. For one thing, they know the exact situation as far as, and this isn't in any of the news reports that I saw. We don't know the exact timeline of how everything was happening and how people had reacted to them or anything else. I did see in that footage the front end scope of an M16, all right, of what an M16
Thank you.
or an AR-15, which means was not.
Looked like, to me, it looked like an M16. I just wanted to say thank you for clarifying that, because I had said that off air with Cabbage. That looked like an M16.
Mhm.
Right. Now, what does that mean? That means that, once again, that they didn't say that this was a SWAT team or that SWAT was involved in this, but it's very possible that there was SWAT called with this. So you had a mix of regular police officers and some officers that were SWAT. We don't know the situation. I mean, and that's something else that would be explained into the jury. Right?
Okay, MC though. But, Mad Dodge looked into this, and the guy got fired later on because of, inappropriate behavior and stuff like that. So, I mean, clearly this guy was, relatively unstable.
Okay, so
you're going to
6 months
later. Now, what I'm saying is that, you can then, when you're looking at what's happening there, and then you understand that this guy's got, previous, this is obviously like part of his modus operandi, So dismissing it and just saying, well, like I said, at the end of the day, I can't believe that he followed procedure.
Guess what? In trials, you're not allowed to bring up previous convictions for a person, whether it's a cop or not.
No, this is later. This is after. So I'm saying, but when you actually look at the
I'm
the
saying
guy
that
ends up getting thrown out later.
This trial just completed. All right, in the trial itself. You're not allowed to bring up anything about the other guys, any other investigations. This guy could have been.
Absolutely.
This guy could have sit up there and been also being charged in another case for robbery.
Yep.
They're not even allowed to bring that up.
I know.
All right.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
That's true. And that's true of whether or not the person on trial is a cop or whether or not they're just some guy off the street.
But that's irrelevant. The point is, right, that in the light of day that we have now, and with the information we have now, the guy clearly is best.
Okay, well, great. Are you going to guarantee that whatever workplace that you have, will you have more than 15 or 20 people that everybody's competent?
Yeah, but there's very big difference.
No.
I mean, people.
You guys,
working at a checkout compared to somebody
Wait a
who's
minute.
being a police officer. If you're comparing the two, that's fucking erroneous.
No, but wait a minute.
It's
In the
not.
chat,
You
wait
just came
a
back
minute.
earlier. Hold on a second.
Kevin.
You just came back
Gentlemen,
earlier and was
Mega
talking about
Please
how
is
we have
trying
to
to
hold
point
them
something
to a
out.
higher standard, right?
Erroneous.
What do you mean erroneous?
Erroneous.
For fuck's
No.
sake.
No, but in the chat, JJ or J Soda Rock.
Look, at the end of the day.
Wait a minute, Cabbage. Just I want to throw this out there.
Compare the competencies when.
I just want to point out this fair point. You don't know if the shooting caused the cop to go over the edge, and that's why he started messing up at work and got fired. We don't know that. That is a fair point. I just wanted to bring up what the chat said. Now go ahead and argue, guys.
There's another person in the chat called Nega Please who would like to point out that only one of the cops was in fear of his life and shot. The other ones didn't do anything.
Yeah, they also didn't tell him to calm down, which I guess they're in the middle of arresting somebody. They don't want to do that, maybe. But I would have told them to tone it down. Like, hey, chill out.
Well, there's a
He's
difference
on the
between
ground.
what you would do and what actually happened. And unfortunately, I thought, you know what? I'm the only one who thinks that, he fucking. I don't know.
Apparently, there is no such thing as, procedures.
Well, here we have the benefit of
doesn't get the guy to dance like a bear.
He reached behind
That's
his
what you
back.
do.
He got shot.
That's
what happened.
Well, right. And the jury looked at that and said, okay, it's reasonable at that point to assume that he was going to grab a weapon. And
that's why I think
would
it's
like-
a justified shooting.
Now,
Zero Cool would like to point out that he's hung like a jury.
Yeah. But
I
it's
just want to
also
say,
important to point
I
out that
doubt
they're
that.
in an enclosed area. all right? You're in a hallway, all right, where you got doors on either side. You don't really know what you're a cop. You don't really know what's going on. This is why one of the
you're
problems
just
I
called to the
had.
situation saying someone's brandishing a firearm.
Well,
That's
no,
it.
and I would like to point out also they're probably really scared of the doors because they can't use it.
They're afraid of if they're afraid of the doors, if both sides of the doors open up and they get rushed by or ambushed.
No,
Yeah.
what he's talking about
Yeah.
is it took them 7 tries and they still couldn't open a door with the actual key card.
Oh,
okay. Like I said, I think it was justified. Excessive, but justified.
Well, yeah, excessive, and does the guy have a job anymore? The answer is no.
No.
He was being held to a higher standard from the department's perspective, but from a human perspective, people looked at it and said he had a fear for his life, so therefore he's going to walk. Now, do I think that the situation was handled correctly? Would there have been a better way to have handled it? You can play 20/20 hindsight all you want, but the reality is these situations in our society happen. I think people overreact when they say, "Well, it's the police," because of this inbred fear that we're worried about the police being sent out to cap people in the dark.
Fuck yeah, I black bad motherfuckers all the time when I was a cop. Hell yeah. V for Vendetta kind of shit, you know what I'm saying?
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, take them out behind the watersheds and fucking, put fucking battery covers on their balls and shit. Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Wolf shot, you know
the
that's
one
my
that goes into the house and shoots the family dog.
No.
No, you know what I do? I shoot the
great.
family and take the dog.
But that shit.
I love the dog.
The V for Vendetta is my favorite movie, so that's great that you're quoting the tool shed part from V for Vendetta.
Well, that was the point.
Yeah.
Black bagging, all that. But
yeah, but I have to say, I think it's not to get serious or anything. And by the way, hello MC. I think it has to do with psychology. I mean, last year I think it was something like there was 28 or 30 cops shot out of over 1 million, and I can understand in neighborhoods where there's large gun crime and stuff, but I think there's a psychology at work here that not only because the left-wing media is putting a whole lot of hate cops out there, they're putting that hate towards cops, but you also have the right-wing media which is saying that cops should kill everybody, their lives are in constant danger. I think there's a psychology at work here as well.
Well, technically, they are kind of always, there's always a chance. The highest rate of when cops get killed is traffic stops.
Yeah.
And I can tell you I did probably like 10 or 12 traffic stops a day, depending.
Well, that would be why it's the highest rate. You're talking about statistics. The more you do it, the higher the rate becomes.
Well, I think we're talking per capita here, though. Like if you percentage rates, for instance, there's a higher percentage that you're going to get shot at, in totality. If you have one traffic stop and, one frisk or, whatever the fuck it is. You get the point.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Oh, you brought up stop and frisk. How do you guys feel about that?
That's bullshit. Sake, here we go.
That's bullshit.
I love it when they reach down. Sorry.
It's probable. It's called probable cause.
Wait, walking down the street is probable cause?
If they think you're doing something shifty, I guess.
Dude, no.
Well, let's face it. Most people get the stop and frisk. There's a 80% chance that they're actually involved in something shady.
Have you heard of unlawful search and seizure? It's a thing.
For fuck's sake, Mad Dog, shut the fuck up!
Yes,
God
and those
someone's triggered.
No, it's not unlawful search and seizure if there's probable cause.
Wait,
that was already determined.
Digging through your pockets because they stopped you on the side of the road for no apparent reason at all. You're just walking, and they search you is unlawful search and seizure. That's the definition.
Right, but you don't know that.
But probable cause was already established in the Supreme Court.
If somebody stops and frisks you, generally, does it really harm anyone?
That's not the point. No. That's not the point. Yeah, that's not the damn point. That's not the point. Does it hurt me if they
Civil
come in? Does it hurt me if they come in and search my computer? No, it doesn't. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Well, no one's doing that.
But the fact remains, that's unlawful search and seizure.
Quit
Same
changing
thing
the
goes.
goalposts.
No, I'm not.
Sure,
Same, no,
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
not.
We like
No,
our
I'm not.
privacy
Wait a
and all,
minute.
but
Let me
if it
finish,
stops
and then
at-
let me finish, and maybe you'll see if the
Okay.
goalpost shifted. The same thing goes for my pockets. Okay, same thing goes for what's in my pockets. You can't just come and search me for no apparent reason. There, you can't. Even if I'm carrying an 8-ball of Coke, it doesn't matter. It's in my pocket. You stopped me for no reason. I come out of 7-Eleven with a Slurpee and you search me.
Guess
What
what?
the fuck, dude?
Guess what? You don't get to decide whether or not they had a reason. They do.
I don't get to decide. Who does? Oh, they do? Oh,
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
You
Yeah, it
like it or
does.
not, that's the rules. That's why you
No,
quote-unquote
so
train
just
these
like-
people.
Wait, have you ever been pulled over? They're like, your blinker's out. You get out and check after they leave, and your blinker's fine. That's bullshit too, dude. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Okay,
How
that
often
is
does that happen?
look.
I have never been
Well,
pulled
that's
over
the equivalent. That's the equivalent of just searching you for no reason because you're walking down the street and you look.
Well,
It looks like you're 22 and it's 7 o'clock on a Saturday.
You do not have all the facts of why that person pulled you over.
Hang on. I would like to say that I'm in two minds with stop and frisk, right? I can understand why cops in a certain neighborhood who know certain people, that type of thing, they know the area and stuff like that. They know who to look for. But I can also see it from Maud's point of view, because if you are just a random guy, not known to police, you don't have a history with police, you're not in any posters or anything like that, and you are just standing there, then there is no reason for them to search you if you are not doing anything overtly illegal.
So suppose they were told that there was a crime recent in the area and you fit the description.
Again, they
Or
would
if you're-
have to come up to you and say, listen, we've had a report of someone
No, they
meeting
don't.
your description. Well, then it is a legal search.
No, they don't have to tell you that the reason
Yes, they
that
do.
they're searching.
Yes, they
you.
do.
They don't.
Yes.
They do not.
They have to tell you what the probable cause is and why you're being searched, because you could literally tell them, no,
Where
you
is
can't
that?
search me.
Where has that been written anywhere? When they bust out a door, they say police. Okay. Do they sit up
Which
there
I
and
think
announce,
is bullshit,
we're
too.
raiding this house because we expect to find drugs?
Yeah, I think that's bullshit too. No knock raids are bullshit also. You are supposed to be served with a search warrant and your house searched. That is the proper procedure. That is due process.
That's your interpretation.
That's
of it.
that's
The courts haven't always decided it that way, though, have they?
no, but when they wrote that, you think they meant that the British could just break down the door and then give them the warrant later? No, sir. They wanted the warrant ahead of time, written what documents are to be seized and why you're there. That's a fact. Come on now.
When they were talking about search and seizure before, okay, they were talking about their letters, all right, that they had written. Okay, they weren't talking about coming into a home and saying, "Hey, how's it going?" Their biggest thing was is that you could just rifle through all their clothes to see if you could find hidden letters and things. They weren't talking about whether or not you could be stopped on the street and they would pat you down. Now, granted,
Wait, and no knock raid is hi, how's it going? That's a flashbang through the window where I come from. That's a very unfriendly hello.
What if it has a
Can we
love
raid
letter
you,
attached
please?
to it?
You what?
Yeah, from the police with love.
the idea that somehow this is wrong, that somehow this is against the rules. Well, like it or not, these are the rules. And there's
Mod
reasons.
Dodge 2020, vote now.
Yeah, no, like no knock raids and stop and frisk are on the same level to me because you're not giving me a reason, you're not giving me a warrant to search me, myself, when it comes to stop and frisk or my private possessions. And what you brought up, rifling through papers for documents. Well, the modern day equivalent of that is rifling through my hard drive for documents, which they will do if they came in, busted down my door right now, shot my dog, threw a flashbang, scared my kids.
Always coming back
and
to
then,
the dog shooting,
and
aren't
then,
they?
no, wait a minute. Yeah. And then I'm on the ground. My hands, I don't know what to do now because I saw the guy in Mesa. I don't know what to fucking do. Should I cross my legs and fucking squat? I don't fucking know.
Okay, let me ask you a different question.
Wait. Let me finish my rant. And then after that, they go, "Hey, here's the warrant. This is why we searched you." Oh, well, thank you, asshole.
But how often does that happen, though? That doesn't happen that often.
It happens every day with drugs.
No, it does.
They break down the door and they search the house and then give the warrant after you're cuffed. My friend grew medical marijuana. They searched his house, had everybody detained, then served him the warrant, and then found out, oh, everything was legit and they had to leave with nothing. That happens every day in Oregon. That's what I'm talking about.
And growing marijuana is illegal still, even in Oregon.
Not in the state of Oregon, and these were local police, sir.
Yes, it is. Well, so what? They can sit up there. Believe it or not, local police can enforce federal laws if they want to. They just can't
They're
be
not going
forced to.
You noticed the part of the story where I said they left because he wasn't over the limit? Yeah. It was uncalled for.
I didn't say, and they may have determined that. They may have used their determination and decided that. But I guarantee they could have turned it over to the DEA.
Oh, but I will tell you, they had some great helicopter pictures of us flipping off the pilot. The pilot had blue eyes, by the way. That's how close they got to the property.
Okay.
Like, seriously. It was pretty entertaining. But, no.
I have to ask Mod, were your kids in the sugar today? Because they're very loud.
Oh, it's the new mic. It's got the ambient part, too, yeah.
He was feeding them sugar last night. They're on a sugar high.
Well, okay, 40. No knock raids. You're okay with that?
User determination? That's not up for me to decide. I mean, personally, no, I don't agree with it. I would rather have it your way. But the thing is that I'm unfortunately not in control of the federal laws. I can only elect the pieces of shit that make the rules.
I have to say, when it comes to no-knock raids, there's two sides. Like many things, it's not simple. I would say that if the cops are going to somewhere where they know shit is going down, like an abandoned warehouse and all this kind of shit, right? Where
Mohammed is planning to bomb the local convenience store.
You what? What?
Where Haji Muhammad is planning to bomb the local Tesco's.
Well, if they're black, just do it anyway and don't care.
If they had any class, it would be Waitrose.
If their beard is long, square, and curly, and they have a black mark on their forehead, shoot them on sight.
If they had any class, they wouldn't be bombing Tesco's. It'd be Waitrose.
No, but it all comes down to circumstance, and it's like MC says, we don't know all the facts. I mean, it might look like your average neighborhood house where you think the nice peaceful neighbor lived, but let's remember that Jeffrey Dahmer was a nice peaceful neighbor. So I think it goes by a situational instance by instance,
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't want, okay, you can surround the house. You can knock on the door and serve the warrant. And then you have the right to search for whatever you're looking for. You don't have the right to search through whatever else you want. Like, you come in because you think they're selling dope. You look for the dope. If you find that they freaking, I don't know, are downloading illegal music, as the chat was talking about, then you don't prosecute them for that because that's not what you were looking for. You have due process, and they have to declare what they're looking for.
The Supreme Court determined that if you're serving a warrant in good faith and you find a different crime, they can charge you for that.
Yeah, plain view.
Well, I am allowed to disagree with the Supreme Court. In plain view, if it's inside your fucking hard drive on your computer, like music, that's not plain view.
Well, but if it's on your screen, that's the only way they would know.
No, if they serve a warrant nowadays, they'll copy your phone. They'll go through all your data.
And they
they'll go
have
through
a
everything.
warrant to look through your stuff.
Yeah.
So you're okay with just generalized warrants then, because that's what you're talking about. If they're serving a drug warrant, but they're allowed to search through everything, yeah, they're looking for phone numbers. I know what they're looking for.
They've gone to a police, or to a judge to get a warrant, and the judge has issued the warrant. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So they're not violating the warrantless search and seizure.
They are when
serving the warrant.
Okay, but they're not searching for illegal music in this example, but they find illegal music.
That doesn't mean that they have to ignore a crime that they see has been committed.
Bloody hell, man.
Yeah, like
I'm
if
with
they're going in.
I'm with Cabbage. You're like fucking all for it. Like you're good with NSA surveillance too, right? Goddamn. Like, they could just do whatever the fuck they want. They could drive an APC to my fucking house, right?
They can. Are they going to? Do you see APCs being used, these militarized police forces? Do you see them anywhere in the United States?
They're buying them up. The fact they're not using them yet actually has me more worried.
Used every day anywhere in the United States by the police.
What are they saving them up for, though? They need a whole fucking army battalion?
For specific situations that may arise. If you have a situation like for example, in this thing in Las Vegas, if they had a positioned APC in the area, don't you think that they would have used that to sit up there and put it in between the guys that are shooting and the victims?
I suppose that's fair. All right. I'll give you that.
It wouldn't have done much. I mean, from where he was shooting and where the crowd was, he might have been held up a fucking paper wrapper.
The fact that you could open those doors to the back and let people come in there and sit inside that vehicle nice and safe would be a great advantage, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, the resident CIA agent just said people in a plural sense, and so I would like to say second shooter confirmed.
Yeah, that's right. No, I wasn't gonna go there. I thought about it though, but yeah, I really don't think there was one shooter. And I'm not even sure that Homeboy was the shooter. I think he might have been dead before the shots went off.
MC.
That's right. I'm going full fucking Alex Jones 40. That's right. Gay frogs and everything.
What are we talking about? I left the computer for a second and came back to Mad Dodge talking about Homeboy being a shooter.
Bloody hell, Wood. Stick around. What the fuck? You're missing everything.
My cats were fighting outside. I had to go inside now.
I got accused of being a CIA person, which I'm not. I have nothing to do with the CIA.
Yeah, they're just CIA. He's NSA.
A CIA agent would totally say that. I'm just throwing that out there.
How many CIA people have you met?
He came because we said nigger too many times.
Oh, God damn it, Wood. Damn it.
The video was already monetized when I said nigger control.
Bloody hell. How many CIA agents have I met? Would they tell me if they were CIA? I don't know. Could be a million.
Could nice to meet you, I'm a CIA agent.
In Iowa, it's not a gray area. Oh, so I actually have something from the chat really here from Dade. He says in Iowa, it's not a gray area. No warrants. Anything else is trespassing. And like at my house, there are signs with no trespass on it. And since they have guns, they can be treated as hostile. He says it's called a protective sweep. We have lots of hunters and blah, 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 blah. And then he tells me to remind you guys. Yeah, so that. I think there's a weird bit of disconnect due to just delay.
Well,
but
okay, let me give you an example of something that would be a tragedy, but these things do happen. And let's use Dade's little scenario there. If a police officer is given the wrong house to go to, or he misreads a warrant. And so they approach a house and they get up in there and they bang on the door and they rush in, right? And the owner, not knowing what's going on, reaches for a gun, right? And shoots one of the police officers while the police officers shoot them. These things have happened in the past. In fact, just a few years ago, it happened here in Tucson. Okay. These are tragedies. You try to avoid tragedies, yeah, but the idea that somehow tragedies are going to be magically disappear with one policy or another policy is just silly.
Yeah.
Now, if these things are happening like this year, right? If you have 20 videos of guys crawling on the ground and the police are shooting him, then yeah, things are out of control. Yeah, you could say that things have gone too far. But on one-offs, every single time when we come up with a one-off from something, I mean, how many times have we seen things where it's like, okay, we only see part of a situation. Now, in this case, we saw the whole thing. The guy, he is no longer a police officer. All right, he was being held to that standard because he's no longer allowed to serve as a police officer. I doubt he'll ever get another job as a police officer ever again. Right?
Yeah.
So to worry about these things in the sense of it's good that these things are talked about. It's good that these things are brought out. That's a great thing. All right. But at the same time, to overreact to these things, and especially to get so emotional that you want to blame all police and say the police have gone too far. You just conflated an individual circumstance and an individual's actions with the entire police force. You can't do that, in my opinion. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Well, we're not really blaming all police here, but MC does have a point.
No, okay, I didn't hear his point, but I never blamed all police. I've known a few really cool cops, and not just cool because they let me drink as a minor and look the other way, like good cops. But I've also met a bunch of assholes, and I've seen them shoot people like this too many occasions for me to really feel comfortable with them not, like, I don't know, waddle towards me. I still can't get over that. Like, put your left leg over your right, get on your knees, put your hands up. No, put them down, put them up, waddle towards me. What the fuck was this guy doing? Was he on meth? Was he high?
Well, to me, it looked like from that situation, right? They were obviously scared. They were scared of more than a single individual. That's the only thing that could even come close to explaining why they were reacting the way they were. All right. The police themselves were concerned about other people being involved. That's why they said, okay, I don't want to go over there because I'm afraid of getting ambushed. You come over here and then sit down. Was it handled correctly? Well, of course not. All right. But the guy's no longer working for the police force. The police force basically probably had admonitions where they said, don't do it like this ever again. Now, does it save that guy's life? No. It's a tragedy. Yes. Is it going to be prevented in the future? Are all cops going to react the same way? Are they all going to be perfect? I'm sorry, but they're not. These kind of things, this is part of the human condition. Until we sit up there and become all saints, and that we're all perfect little beings, or we're somehow mind melded into the point where we all have the same group thing. These things are going to happen.
This is why we need to go Vulcan now. Go Vulcan. Logic, bitches.
I see your point. And no, you can't paint a broad brush over all police officers because of this instance. Not even all police officers in Mesa. You can't do that. You're absolutely right. The thing still remains. If this was a civilian in a home break-in, right? Once the civilian had the guy with the gun on him, his hands down, could he shoot somebody like this? Could he have handcuffs and be like, I want to cuff you before I call the cops? I don't think so, and I don't think you could have shot him like this. So when you're talking about, if you're talking about second-degree murder, which we are, would the civilian go to prison? I say yes. Why does a cop in the same circumstance get a pass?
Actually, I don't think. I honestly think that in the same circumstance where he thought if he had somebody breaking into his house and he pulled the gun and he stood up there to have the guy on the ground, right? And all of a sudden the guy stood up there and reached back behind him and the guy shot him. I honestly think that that the jury would have decided the same thing and he would have walked.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Maybe you're right. I haven't seen a case in this exact instance, which I doubt we ever will. Not from a civilian case, but it's interesting that you think that. You think, like, in your house, you could tell somebody to do all these steps, and if they messed up, you could shoot them 5 times?
No, I have to say here that if someone's in your house, the simple fact is this: they're not meant to be there. So if they get killed, fuck them. The moment you break into someone's house, it is simply this: you're not meant to be there. Whatever happens to you is on your own ass. So no, fuck them.
Let me put the scenario a little bit different. Let's say the cop broke into the house. All right, thinking he was serving a warrant. It's the wrong house, and the owner saw a gun, shot the guy, and shot the police officer and killed him. Would I think that that individual would be charged? Yes. Do I think he would walk? Yes. I think he would walk away. I don't think he would have been convicted.
Wow. I think he would be, because he killed a cop and everybody gets so emotional about that. No, I'm serious. They do. They do. No, if you look at a jury, they do. They're like, oh my God, one of the people we put up to protect us died. It doesn't matter if it was justified. It just matters that he died.
And
right?
You didn't get emotional while arguing?
Fair enough. 40. Yeah. I did have a good 2-minute rant. You're right. Guilty.
Take a look at what happened in the Zimmerman case. Right? It's not proof. It wasn't the same situation or anything else. But the jury basically came back and said that he wasn't guilty.
Yeah, and the Zimmerman case.
People are not as. Is it a perfect system? Is it a guarantee that that people like Zimmerman are going to walk, depending upon the situation and the climate and everything else? No. Once again, that's one of the things about a jury. Once it gets to the jury, I mean, lawyers will tell you, once it gets in the hands of a jury, it's in the hands of a jury. They're going to decide. They're going to make their own decision, and at times, shocking decisions get made. At times, O.J. Simpson walks out of the trial a free man.
Yeah, you see, this is where the SS had it right.
As an example.
Just shoot the motherfuckers. No trial.
Well,
see how the Europeans approach this? You guys worry about me.
Well, no, and I would like to point our attention to another case. So one of the young ladies who kidnapped and tortured a white disabled person was convicted on a hate crime and all that, but released with probation. Probation.
The charges for hate crime were dropped, actually. You're talking about the guys that kidnapped the retarded kid?
Yeah, the two guys, 2 girls, I think. I think there was 4 of them.
Yeah, okay, we're on the same page. The hate crime was dropped, actually.
Well, that's political. Let's be honest, that was all political, dropping that hate crime bullshit.
Yeah, but even if the hate crime was dropped, fucking probation for kidnapping and torture? Are you kidding me? Yep. Seriously.
Again, it's political. That's the only reason she got probation. It's all, let's not jail up these fucking niggers for this hate crime. Let's
God damn it.
Show how diverse we are.
You guys. Son of a bitch.
Well, the thing
I'm going to get one of those beep things, and every time someone's angry, we're going to fucking hit it. God damn it.
Well, and the thing is that that judge was known to give leniency to those people.
those people. That's almost as bad, 40.
The judge was known to give leniency to criminals. So it's not a surprise, really.
So, what do you think the other 3 will get?
Hopefully, the drive-by.
God. No, but seriously, I don't think if the situation was the other way around, I don't think my wife would have gotten probation. I think she'd be sitting in Oregon fucking women's prison right now. Whatever the fuck
it's
it's
like
called.
this. If that had been 4 white people and a black guy, that all would have gotten the fucking death penalty. You know. No, it's
Yeah,
all
really.
political.
Like, no, think about it. Think about it. Somebody yelling at them and torturing them, saying "fuck Obama." Say "fuck Obama." Say it. Say it. You know. What? Like what the? Well, they were doing that. They were yelling "cracker" and shit at him, right? That's exactly what they were doing. And they put it on Facebook. Are you fucking retarded? Serious.
Well, again, it's those people. So yeah.
Like,
just horrible.
You what?
Yeah, well, I mean, seriously, yeah, he said your horrible voice.
Is it a miscarriage of justice? Of course it is, and I think everybody recognizes that. But guess what? You know, they have the ability. That neighborhood has the ability to remove that judge if they don't think that they're being served correctly.
Yeah, would that be judge notification? Because they were found guilty.
I mean, you can remove. I mean, it depends. I mean, every state and every area has its own rules for this kind of stuff. But they could definitely take it upon themselves to remove this kind of this judge. They could say, okay, this judge is no longer going to be authorized. Like, for example, in the state of Alabama. In the state of Alabama, the people get to decide whether or not a judge continues, regardless of where, as long as it's a state judge, even if it's a state Supreme Court judge, they can vote him out of office as a Supreme Court justice. Okay,
yeah,
so now each state is a little different in that regard. All right, some of them require an impeachment process that has to go through the legislature of the state, et cetera. So that's the reason I pointed out. I just know that Alabama, people have the ability to remove the judge just by a simple vote. If people think that this judge is out of control, that it's constantly giving out sentences and endangering the neighborhood, well, then they have that neighborhood. They have the ability of saying, hey, well, we need to get rid of this judge, and they have ways of doing that. Is it going to help that kid who got tortured? No. Is it a miscarriage of justice? Well, in my opinion, but guess what? That's what justice is. Justice is blind. Sometimes you don't get the outcome you want or you believe should be.
MC, stop being logical and just lose your shit for once. You know, go fucking mad. Come on.
Yeah, join the dark side. No, and fucking Zero Cool is trolling in the chat. God damn it. Oh, now Orion too. You guys, fuck off. Oh shit, Zero. All right, you know what? As long as you guys don't start your fucking trolling in here, I guess I'll go ahead and send the link out.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's a New York. That's the New York Post link. I don't think you guys want that. Wrong link. So 40, like, come on, man. Don't you want to send your girlfriend to go kick the shit out of that girl? She's only on probation. Send your old lady out there and handle it, dude.
Is your girlfriend in Chicago for some reason?
No, that's why I said send her. He's gonna have to pay for the ticket.
Why the fuck would I send her? I'd rather just go out there myself.
Oh, you're gonna hit a woman? Oh, I didn't think you were like that.
Crimes with hitting a woman. Jesus, what do you think? I am civilized?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 40. Fuck that bitch up.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity, right?
Yeah. Equal opportunity discrimination. There you go.
Yeah. No, just walk up to her and be like, "Hey, torture this white boy, bitch."
And I'll make sure she's alone with no other superior males.
I think if you walked around with a sign that said something like that. In Chicago, you wouldn't be coming back.
There's one thing that's being missed. There's one thing that's being missed out of this whole thing is that whatever the political issues, which, yes, they were politically motivated, that's been made clear, and that the judge is a complete incompetent moron. is that these four assholes took advantage of somebody who was mentally disabled and probably lived off the state, not because they couldn't do anything, it's because you were on disability. So if you think about it, it is technically abusing a person with mental disabilities and physical disabilities. That, if you were to use the term hate crime, that technically is a hate crime, and which is something they should have focused on more than the skin tone issue. But NMC said it right. It's strictly it was all political bullshit. That's what it was. But they're failing. They intentionally left out the fact that the guy was mentally handicapped. The guy probably couldn't even tie his shoe.
Yeah, and he knew. I think the young lady that got probation, I think she's the one that knew him from school and lured him in. I think she should have got the most time.
That's been proven.
Yeah.
And she mentally abused and manipulated that kid to think, oh, yeah, you're going to get some sexy time with a black chick. Which, skin tone aside, when women act like that, guys do kind of go, duh. And that's how the whole... Otherwise, if that wouldn't have been in play, this whole situation, and of course, Facebook wouldn't do anything about it anyway. They're a bunch of hypocrites. But that's something they didn't even want to bother touching on, because if they would have, they would have all not only gone to jail, but they'd be in butt-pound prison getting their asses kicked, because inmates do not like people who rape women, molest children, and abuse mentally ill, deficient people. Prisoners don't like that shit. And I think that's the only reason that wasn't brought in. It wasn't brought up and made a big deal out of, like it should have been. So that's the X factor that they didn't want to touch, because they knew they'd lose. So no trolling. I'm just bringing up that point.
Oh no, I was joking anyway, dude. You're always welcome. But is there any word on when the sentencing for the other three individuals will happen?
I couldn't tell you. I just know that the girl is in a lot of trouble, because she's gonna feel paranoid for a good long time, and rightfully so. In fact, the parents of that child, or at least his guardians, they're still going to pursue a civil case. So oftentimes when it comes to a criminal case, sure, you can get out of a criminal case, but sometimes the civil case is worse, because that hits you hard in the pocketbook, and that's worse than going to jail.
Yeah. That's very true. I didn't even think of the civil case.
Yeah, just ask OJ. Shit, that's why he went back to prison, because he was trying to get his Heisman back or some shit. But, I mean... what are they going to do? Squeeze blood from a turnip? I doubt the parents of these people can pay anything. They're going to file bankruptcy. You're not going to get a dime.
Well, here's the thing. MC, you can back me up here, and you other guys too, if you've heard of this. I have heard that if you get a civil case and you lose and you cannot pay, you can still go to jail.
Yeah.
Not. I don't. It would depend upon. I mean, there's several factors that it depends upon, right? But I don't think that in this case that the person could be put in jail for not.
Well, that's why I asked,
not having
because
the
we don't
ability
have
to
100%.
And it's gonna, and of course, it's gonna depend upon what the rules are within that state and how they can be applied, right? There's no guarantee that that's the case in Illinois. Maybe it is, right? I mean, that could be, but there's no guarantee of that. Failure to pay, all right, can be considered a crime. All right, if you fail to pay certain things, but that doesn't whether that's going to apply in this case, I have no idea.
And very well, it may not.
Additionally, when you talk about things like bankruptcies, everyone thinks that a bankruptcy, they just write off your debt. And
hell no!
And you just ride off into the sunset
for so long.
Okay, it doesn't work that way, and
not even close.
When it comes to a suit such as this, oftentimes the debt incurred, all the other debts may be written off, but this debt won't be. You will still be forced to have that over your head until you finish paying it. So this could last for a long time. All right, there's no guarantee that a judge is going to say. In fact, it's very unlikely that a judge is going to say, "Well, this part you still don't have to pay." All right, like I said, when
and it could very, very much well bring up the point is that if she were to have a civil suit, get her ass kicked, and then they would say, and they would basically say, well, you're X amount of age now. You don't, can't blame it on your parents. They could still try her as an adult. You can still be under the age of 18 and try it as an adult in a civil case, in a civil suit. And people don't think about that either. Plus the fact that were she to have that happen, lose massively, and try to file for bankruptcies, everybody else can say, yeah, we don't give a shit. You're going to have to pay this sooner or later. And then the banks are going to say, fuck you. Colleges are going to say, fuck you. Jobs will say, fuck you. So she's basically made her worse. And she'll have this stigma. Oh, you like to pick on retarded kids, huh? Yeah, she has this stigma above her head for probably a good 20 years. And that, and she's going to beg to go to jail. So, because it's better sometimes to take your prison sentence, have a misdemeanor or a felony on record and say, yeah, I learned from it, then, yeah, well, you can't pay your bills. Why would we want to trust you enough to hire you and give you a job if you can't be trustworthy?
Yeah.
So think about that shit.
It's an excellent point.
But, I mean, this is all currently a what-if scenario, though.
Correct. I mean, we're making suppositions and reading tea leaves as to what's going to happen. But a lot of things, there's a lot of factors that can depend upon this. Maybe she's truly remorseful. Who knows? Maybe she tries to make good. Maybe she turns over a new leaf. All right.
Yeah, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. I mean, sure, we are concentrating on the negative, but we're also concentrating and focusing on the realistic, because people do get really pissy more when you screw with somebody who's mentally or physically disabled or deficient or handicapped, whatever term you choose to use, than somebody who's like, oh, I don't like you because of your skin tone.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, my son has spina bifida. If my son was 18 years old and some fucking punks kidnapped him, they wouldn't be in jail right now. I would.
I think you would be smart enough not to go down that road, but regardless, this is just something that's on a realistic level. The criminal suit can go away, sure, but the civil suit can be so much worse. And if the boy doesn't have parents and he is a state of the ward, or he lives in a group home, or maybe a mental institute or a halfway house, the state itself can be vastly more vicious than any parent could be, because they have the capability of saying, well, you've basically done this against the ward of the state, you're fucked. Because reasons and resources and, they're all connected. DHS is connected everywhere in each state, and they can still communicate with other states in regards to cases. And it just may, it could be even worse. I mean, again, this is a huge what-if scenario, but it's a very scary, real possibility that she should think about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we have talked about this way back when it first happened. We talked about it, but I didn't even bring it up then. How do you don't just jump to kidnapping a kid and torturing him and putting it on Facebook? Okay, something led up to this, right? So the fact that she's suddenly going to turn a new leaf, you had to lead up to kidnapping. So I don't know. I don't know if you could just.
Yeah, he was coerced. You could tell just the way that which sadly you can't find the video right off the bat, but you can find it. You look at the way that he's interacting with people. He's not. While he is scared, he is more confused than anything. And that's the facial expressions and the attitude of somebody who you're familiar with. Like, why are you doing this? As opposed to, please don't do this. So that's the emotional and mental manipulation that they've bestowed upon this young man, as opposed to straight out, yeah, we're going to kidnap him and fuck Donald Trump. And it's like, oh yeah, that totally made sense. You beat up on a white kid who's mentally handicapped, and you think that our president-elect at the time is going to do shit? No. I mean, the fact that their parents didn't raise them right just goes to, it goes a further to say, well, when you come from, if you're black and you come from a single household or a single parent household, you're kind of, in a statistic of being fucked. It unfortunately goes further to prove that statistic or that, mentality exists, which, I'm sorry to say, it's true.
Oh, yeah, and I was waiting. I heard MC trying to talk. So, yeah, if one of you guys want to throw something in.
Now, the thing is I'm not saying that this person's going to turn over a new leaf, okay? Because, I mean, I'm just giving that as a scenario. All right. Yes, the civilian courts can do a lot to you. All right. This person may never recover from the crime that she committed. All right. How they look at it from a ward of the state issue, he's right in the fact that when it comes to the resources of a state, the resources of like a state government versus the resources of an individual. Guess what? States, especially the state of Illinois, they have a lot of monetary resources. They can easily take a case like this and continue it on for long periods of time. I mean, there's nothing that stops that. So those things do happen. But whether or not that's going to happen in this case, we're playing what if scenarios of these things. Now we're looking at everything so far today. And we're saying, okay, this was a miscarriage of justice. This was a miscarriage of justice. Okay, yeah. But is it the question is it systemic? Is it something that we can look at and say, if we do this, these cases won't happen in the future? And I don't think we can do that with these kind of situations.
No, absolutely not. It's unrealistic to say that we do one thing, then it solves everything else. That's never the way it works.
Well, you're right, but I think if we had a certain procedure, you have the suspect get down, hands straight out, don't move from that point, and then you secure the suspect. That could have stopped the shooting that happened. Am I wrong, 40? You've been quiet for a while. Jump in.
I was actually just looking some stuff up on the side. I just found an article by Breitbart concerning this actually same topic, the girl. But what was the question? Sorry.
I was just saying, if they had a certain procedure where you get the suspect down, hands straight out, don't move, and you secure the suspect, that would have solved the whole thing, the tragedy that happened in Mesa, Arizona, right? We could at least solve it that way.
Maybe. It's a game of what ifs, but I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. But then again, as we talked about before, I'm sorry to repeat myself so often, but in that scenario, there's no violation of that social contract where you don't make hostile moves towards a police officer. And whether the move is intentional or not, that doesn't matter. The fact that the move happens in the first place, that's what matters. Because people's lives are at risk ultimately.
That's very fair. I still, if I was that officer, I don't see that as aggressive. And that's when you fire your weapon, is when they're moving aggressively. It seemed more confused to me. But
yeah, but for every you have to understand, for every video of an innocent guy who gets shot because he went to pull up his pants or something, he didn't do nothing. For every video like this that we're watching, there's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 more videos of someone reaching to their side and actually pulling a gun out. There's dash cam
that's not
videos.
Getting focused on like it should.
Yeah. Sorry for the background noise.
Oh, you're on the Redeye. You think that matters? But no, getting back to the article that you were reading, you said it pertained to this young lady who was released?
Yeah, I won't read the whole thing because it's a little lengthy, but first of 4 Chicago suspects accused of beating and torturing a disabled teenager and broadcasting the attack on Facebook has pled guilty, but a judge let her off without prison time reports. The headline says, hold on. The suspect also pleaded guilty to aggravated battery and intimidation charges as part of a plea deal. Prosecutors dropped initial charges, including kidnapping, and apparently, so they dropped kidnapping and hate crimes.
Whoa! Why did they drop fucking kidnapping?
I don't even think it was kidnapping in the first place. I don't think that even plays. I think, honestly, they think that there's kidnapping, but as I've stated, he knew the girl, and with his mental condition being what it was, he probably thought it was a game or he was going to get attention from her a certain aspect. So if he, and I'm sorry to say, probably went willingly, even if he was coerced, that ain't kidnapping.
Wait a minute. Even if you go willingly, kidnapping is defined legally by not letting somebody leave. If you stop them from leaving, you're kidnapping them because you're restricting their freedom of movement and you're trapping them. So I think it's still kidnapping.
If that's the case, then yeah, I would say that's probably fair. To me, it's not. I didn't think of it as that. I thought it as you willingly took a person by force to do something, go something initially against their will, not specifically because they couldn't leave.
No, and
So,
I might be projecting Oregon law there. MC, am I wrong there with other states?
I thought that since it's a federal crime, it had one definition.
No, well,
yeah, that's what I thought.
There are several different things. You could look at it as illegal incarceration, which is another type. They may look at it that way. All right. As far as kidnapping goes, normally kidnapping is something that, and the feds only get involved in kidnapping if it goes across state lines. Right. At least that's been my understanding.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So in this case, could it be considered kidnapping where they move the person, all right, from one spot to another spot? Possibly. You could consider it kidnapping. Whether or not they consider it, what is it? It's not illegal incarceration. What is it? It's when you prevent somebody from leaving.
Like restriction of movement.
Yeah, it's like when you're holding them against their will. I can't think of there's a term.
Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. In Oregon, I thought it was kidnapping if you trap somebody. Like if me and my wife were having a fight.
That could be how Oregon defines it. All right, but that doesn't mean that every state's going to quote unquote define it that way.
Oh no, like absolutely, absolutely. I'm just saying, like if me and my wife were fighting, for instance, and I trapped her in a room and I refused to let her leave, I stole her cell phone or ripped the phone cord out of the wall. I think that would be considered kidnapping, or at least false imprisonment.
Well, that could be
that's a dream scenario. Your wife would kick your ass if you touched your cell phone.
Oh, you're probably right. No, and me and my wife never fight, really. Our fighting is me getting mad and yelling for a minute and her just ignoring the shit out of me. That's our fighting. I'm serious, like straight up. That's our fights right
Yeah,
there.
that sounds about right.
Oh, 40, you could relate?
Well, no, I mean, I yell and make my point, and then she doesn't know what to say, and then she gets sad, and we don't talk for several hours.
Yeah,
that's
about right. Yeah, that's about right.
I don't think I ever have to go that far. I usually tell my wife, "You're being an asshole." She goes, "Go fuck yourself." I'm like, "What'd I do?" She goes, "You started it," and I go, "Shit, you got me." Because I probably did start it.
No, Zero, you're smarter than me then, because I keep yapping. I keep going. And, kind of like
you haven't learned that you're never going to win an argument with a woman.
Exactly.
Nope, I'll never learn that. I'll be arguing on my tombstone, sir.
I think you're the one that's going to get kidnapped by 4 black people if you keep doing that shit.
The only chance you have of winning an argument with a woman is the realization that she has to come back and admit she was wrong. You're never going to convince her she was wrong. She has to admit it to herself first. And you're not going to do that in a heated argument. That'll never happen.
I know. Arguing with a woman is like arguing on the internet, right? It doesn't
Something
work.
like arguing with cabbage.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so we don't go too far off the topic. Last night was classic. He just couldn't believe that I agreed with him. It's like, what? You made a good point. And see, that's what's called fighting right, is when you actually bring up the situation as opposed to, and this is something my parents taught me. If you're married and you ever get in an argument with your spouse, you learn to fight right. You argue about and you fight about the topic, not specifically who's the blame, because that becomes secondary. Like if you fuck up the budget, yeah, you're in trouble, but it's like, okay, I fucked up the budget. How do we fix it, kind of thing. But Cabbage just couldn't believe I agreed with him on that Star Trek thing, but that's neither here nor there. Now, getting back to the kidnapping with the kid, it all happened in Chicago, from what I understand. So he didn't even leave city limits.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they took him from the suburbs, right, and then drove him into the inner city, into a pretty not cool neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
Well, and then,
that was
again,
the polite way, right?
yeah, and again, while it probably is technically kidnapping, why they dropped the charges, I'll fucking never know, because they're retarded over there. I still don't think it was. I think it was more manipulation because he knew the person as opposed to, get in the van. Yeah, I got, get in the van, lock the door, and drive off. But I'm not a law major, so that's just my 2 cents on that. Because it's like a lot of times when they talk about when somebody gets killed or it has a violent thing, like not specifically domestic violence, it's usually the act is committed by somebody that the victim is familiar with or knows more often than a complete stranger. Yeah. But whatever. That's the train of thought I was going with.
So I read ahead a little bit. And the article says, despite the guilty plea, Cook County Circuit Judge William Hooks released Covington, the girl's last name, without jail time, telling Covington, quote, "Don't mess this up." Judge Hooks imposed 200 hours of community service and banned Covington from using social media and having contact with her co-defendants for 4 years.
So she has 4 weeks of community service. 200
fucking hours.
I don't think the judge has to say don't fuck it up because she's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
MC, correct me if I'm wrong, because because this was a criminal case, right? Double jeopardy is now in effect to where she can't be charged with the same crime, but they could go after her for different things. And if she fucks up, there's violation of at least something right there, don't you think?
Well, it would be probation.
The state could not file charges against her for anything related to this.
Are you sure they can't file the kidnapping charges again?
No,
I think they've done that to mobsters before. They've dropped it and then they reinstated it.
But the difference is between the states and the federal. They could come back and charge her for civil rights violation. They could say that this woman violated this guy's civil rights in a criminal sense, and therefore they could do it. But the feds would have to do it.
Well, tell me that the probation officer is looking to see if she has a VPN, because I bet you she has a fucking Facebook on a VPN. I bet you anything. Like right now, she got out 24 hours? Yeah, that's long enough.
I mean, she may not immediately go back for social media. I mean,
I don't.
Are you kidding me? She put.
I'm gonna call bullshit and say she made a fake account right now.
Yeah, exactly. They put this on Facebook. They're obviously Facebook junkies.
Is it possible? Yes.
Well, right. I don't think this is the kind of person that knows what a VPN is.
That's a possibility as well. I mean, who knows what this person is actually like? All we know about this person is what we've seen on a small snippet of video and what we've read about her. We've never talked to this person.
That is fair.
We haven't gotten a feel for him. None of us are psychologists that I know of.
I dabble in psychology. No.
I'll have you know I've read a book one time.
I'll have you know I stayed at the Holiday Inn, and that makes me an expert.
Right. Not the Holiday Inn. Had it been a Holiday Inn Express, you screwed up, dude.
Oh, busted.
Yeah, so we better take that license off the wall there, Zero.
Well, I only printed it 5 minutes ago, so it's not really worth anything anyway.
Oh, yeah, kind of like an online degree.
That's right.
About the same.
But in all seriousness, with all being, with the fun stuff out of the way, she is going to fuck up. She will find some way to violate her parole if that's what she's on. And that judge, it won't matter what the judge said. Well, I said this. It don't mean shit. Because you're an idiot. B, the judge is obviously a racist. And Illinois is fucked up altogether. And C, with the mentality that this person has for doing this to a mentally disabled person, she's going to think she's hot shit and get away with whatever she wants. And she's still going to get busted. And she'll fuck up somehow. And I guarantee should the same thing happen to the next 3 assholes, which I hope it doesn't. But I mean, personally, jail doesn't serve a purpose for shit like this anyway, because they never learn, because if they want to do it, they'll do it anyway. They're all going to fuck up. And I don't pity any of them for going to jail and getting their asses kicked, because, like I said, people in jail, they don't tolerate rapists, molesters, or people who abuse other people mentally, especially, excuse the wording, but retards. They don't deal with that shit.
I said it too.
Well, I would tend to agree with you usually. But in this case, they were saying fuck Trump and fuck crackers and all that. They're going to click up as soon as they get there. The guys are. The other girl might not know what to do. She might flounder a bit in women's prison, but
that's the way it is with anybody. I mean, if you're a white guy, you look for other white people in jail. If you're a Latino, you look for other Latinos in jail. I spent a week in jail simply because I didn't pay a traffic fine on time. And so they said, well, you were $50 off on your traffic fine, so you got to sit a week in jail. And it's like, okay, and it was county jail, but I was sitting there minding my business, and that's the biggest thing that I saw. Other people that came in, the black guys went over with the black guys, the Latinos went over with Latinos, the whites went with the whites, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this shit all about? And the guard's like, well, you're only in here for a week, and you're very small fry, but these guys are going to Fort Madison and all this kind of shit, so they're getting with their cliques right now for protection. I'm like, oh. Huh. So it doesn't matter what your skin tone is. That's exactly where it's, you're gonna find your own group, your own kind, so to speak, strictly for protection. And I had people saying, "Hey man, what are you in for?" And I say, "I didn't pay a traffic fine on time." What are you fucking serious? I'm like, yeah. and I think I've told people this before. I was sitting at a table with a bunch of recovering drug addicts, and they just couldn't believe that I forgot to pay a traffic fine for $50. And yeah, it's Cook County. They're all fucked up. So I'm sorry to say that's just the way it goes, and I've seen it in action. And I oddly, and the thing is, the people that go away for the long time, they know the people that are getting out in like a day or a week, and either they just ignore them, or they just don't give a shit, because it's like, well, what's the point? They're no threat to me. That's how they view it. They know that they can't cajole or coerce somebody who's getting out in a week or a day for a stupid minor thing like I had, when they're going to have to deal with people in butt pounding prison. So they've got to get on their game for something else. They don't give a shit about people in county unless a person in county starts mouthing off, trying to act all hard and shit.
Well, yeah, you're fair there, but I've known a friend of mine went to prison for manslaughter. But he told me that county is worse than prison, because prison, they have the routine. County is just shit for however long you're stuck there. So I don't know. That's all I know about it. I've never been to county.
I guess it depends on which county you're in.
Yeah, maybe.
In Scott County, we don't give a shit. Most people are in and out for like pot or failing a piss test for a job or a traffic violation.
Wait, you can go to jail for failing a piss test for a job?
Yes.
Wow, I failed like 3.
Drugs are illegal.
Really? I failed 3 in Oregon. I've never been to jail for that.
Where are you at?
Oregon.
Yeah, that's Oregon. In Iowa, we are different.
Wow, the great state of Oregon, people.
Companies can fucking have you arrested on charges of drug possession for failing a piss test.
So you're in possession of your piss? Oh, here's a good story. I got arrested for minor in possession, right? And I was stupid, okay? I was stupid. They're like, do you want a lawyer? I'm like, no, fuck this. I'll argue myself. But, like, literally, that's the type of guy I am. Yeah, I know. Dumb MC. I could hear you laughing even though you're not. Yeah. And so the judge goes, so you're charged with minor in possession by consumption. And I'm like, Your Honor, do I look like a beer can to you? I can't be in possession of myself. Therefore, how am I a minor in possession? And the judge is like, you're an asshole. Guilty. Give him fucking whatever, community service and like a $500 fine. That's how quick it was. Like,
that's about, oh my God, that's about as bad as when my friend was sitting on his porch with an open beer and a cop pulled up and says, you need to come downtown with me, and I'm literally staying there with a Heineken in my hand. I said, yeah, what for? And he goes, well, you both, you're both in violation of the open container policy. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said, okay, dude, we're on private property, so we're not going shit. And he goes, you need to get in the car. And I said, no, you can go fuck yourself. We're on private property. So the cop, my friend was dumb enough and basically, oh, no, get in. I'm like, you're an idiot. I stayed right there and the cops never did anything because we were in a backyard with a fence around us on his porch in a private residence.
Yeah.
I can drink whatever beer I want. And the only reason the cops were called is because the people next door were pissed off because they didn't get invited.
Oh,
and I'm
that's
like,
fucked.
that's exactly why I said you can't do shit. And he's like, okay, I'll get in. I say, and you're an idiot. And then a week later, he had to go in front of the judge, and I'm sitting there in the courtroom, and he goes, Mr. Murphy, would you mind coming up here and telling your side of the story? I said, yeah, we're having a party. And I said, asshole over there who was, in attendance, dickweed over there, didn't get invited, so he decided to call the cops on us. And the judge is like, are you serious? I said, yeah. And he goes, were you holding a beer on the porch in your neighbor's and your friend's backyard? And I said, yeah, I was. It was a Heineken. He goes, dismissed. And that was the end of it. But my friend decided to plead guilty to this because he didn't know the law. And he was I don't know, maybe he had a guilty conscience or some shit. But it's like the dumbest fucking thing. You wouldn't be surprised what, and I'm not saying this is the police officers, you wouldn't be surprised what counties do or allow to beef up their revenue. Stupid little shit left and right is how they make their money. Because they know that it costs more money to go after the big stuff than it does the little stuff, because people are just like, oh, I got a billion things to do today, just give me the damn fine. And then they fail to realize what effect it's going to have on them in the long run.
No, that's funny because here in Oregon, once again, because this is where I live, I know it. Inside cities, you can't have an open container, but if you're walking down the street in county land outside city limits, you're golden. So the cops pull up because we were like 21 idiots. We were walking down the side of the highway. A car drove by. I went, threw my hands up. I didn't move or jump at all, but they called the cops saying somebody's trying to jump into traffic. And so, yeah, seriously. I was a fucking idiot.
MC, save us, dude. Save us.
No, but the cops showed up, and we're both holding beers.
Well, why is it, Mad Dodge, you have so many run-ins with the cops?
Yeah, it was just
What do you expect?
I lived in a small town, dude. They knew me, so that's what it's about.
I came from a very small town as well, and I did not have that many run-ins with the cops. I had a couple.
Well, I also sold weed.
I don't have story after story.
I also sold weed, but I never got caught with weed, even though I got stopped with it a lot. So I'm a good talker to the cops, at least.
So basically, the cops knew you were a drug dealer and were letting you get away with it, waiting for you to get enough rope to hang yourself.
And I never did. But no, they stop us, right? And I'm holding my beer, and they're like, hey, can we talk to you? I'm like, yeah. Can I set my beer down? And we're in county land, so they're like, yeah, go ahead. So I set my beer down, and we talked to them, and that was about it. But you got busted on your porch. I was alongside a Highway 99, dude, and they just let me set my beer down.
Hey, I didn't get busted on my porch. I got busted on my friend's porch, and I told the cops to piss off because I knew I didn't do anything wrong.
No, fair enough. But I was on the side of a highway, dude, and they were like, all right, yeah, just set your beer down.
Yeah, but there's a difference. They thought you were going to kill yourself.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know what the funny thing is, right? From all the stories I've ever heard you tell about your run-ins with the cops, I could have swore you would be a fucking homeless person.
Hey, 40. No, 40. You want to be real? I was homeless from 16 to 20.
Oh, God,
I was on my own, couch surfing, doing my thing. Yeah, absolutely. Christ. I slept in tents. I slept under a bridge. I got in a fight with a homeless guy before. Yeah, because of the bridge I was under. Yeah,
fucking bum fights.
I was like 18 years old, and this guy's like 55. He's like, "Get out of my bridge." Me and my buddy are like, "Dude, we're just chilling." He's like, "Fuck you," and we just left. We didn't want to beat up an old bum. Like this shit wasn't cool. But yeah, no, I've been homeless, man. That's why people are like libertarians are evil capitalists. They want to steal everybody's money. Man, I have been fucking homeless. I've been on food stamps, dude. Right now, I only live in a single wide fucking trailer with my kids and my wife.
Well, that's
Like,
more than what some people got.
Yeah, I own it. It's my home. I own it.
Good. That's good. So getting back to the serious topics. You know, I honestly don't know what's going to happen with those three other assholes. I just you could beat them to within an inch of their life and they wouldn't learn anything. That would be the only thing. I don't think they're going to learn anything.
That's what we expect because people don't learn. But I asked Forty, who was nice enough to give me the guy's name again, the judge's name again, to look up to see what I could find on him. And they do have election laws where, and in the 2016 election, he got reelected with 72% of the vote to be allowed to continue to sit as a judge. So
yeah, but it's like I said, Cook County is fucking full of retards.
Well, I mean, but he's reflective of that community. That community.
Unfortunately, so
this is a minor. What they looked at is, and what happened to them is a minor kind of offense. That's how you have to look at it.
No, and I just want to address Orion in the chat. I am not a dirty fucking hippie. Those are fighting words, sir. I live in Oregon. I live by actual hippie commune. I am not one of them.
Mad dog, you fucking accused me you accused me of the same thing earlier. So you know
you are a hippie, Cabbage. You're a hippie, Cabbage.
What comes around goes around, buddy.
There you go. You see. Yeah. You can get muddy the same way.
You have a good one.
Yeah, thank you, MC. I'm glad you came on. I appreciate it. No, any other anything else about the cops, or should we just go to a lighter topic for like half an hour and wrap it up?
Yeah, let's just go to a lighter topic.
Yeah.
Bunnies.
Wabbits.
So I want to talk about the genocide in Rwanda. No.
Get out. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a lighter topic, right?
No. I'm gonna do what this asshole on Sticks, Hex, and Hammers channel does. He goes by the name of Core Gamer 3. Talk about the Armenian genocide. Ugh.
You know what?
Yeah,
the only thing
that's for TYT, you know,
right?
Consumption, right?
That's what I was gonna say. The only thing I want to say about that is the Young Turks deny it. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's being completely sarcastic. Every time Styx makes a video, this guy puts that up, and everybody's just kind of like all saying at once. Like if you have a group of people saying "shut up," you know, and he's just trolling Styx, but you know, it's just one of those things. It's kind of like, oh, we're gonna talk about stupid light topics. Let's talk about this shit that's obviously heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going for there.
Seriously, man, this control room thing, you got to disable it before the chat. I've been fucking bouncing in and out of here like a hooker on a bad trip.
Well, I think that's part of your weather. You were saying the weather was messing with you.
No. It's the control room, mate. It does it every fucking time.
I can't.
Very specifically about the control room. I know it is because the Google thing just freaks out. I had to reboot 3 times because it just fucking choked all of the CPU.
Cabbage, I tell you what. Let's do a stream on your channel. And you could turn off the control room. He has a channel. Yeah. He doesn't do anything. He could hit the live stream button, and then no Cabbage. And then you could tell me exactly how you disable the goddamn motherfucking cunt ass control room because I can't.
Somebody was going to show you that once. Somebody offered to show you one time. I think it was Wolfie, and you obviously didn't pay attention.
No, pay attention to Wolf Shot. Why would I do that? Come on now.
It's always the chat thing. As soon as the chat room's on, it fucks everything up. It just the Google, that Google Talk plugin, just fucking choose. I mean, I can hear it now. The fans are already starting to spin up, and now I'll just get dumped again.
I don't think so.
Everything else works. The internet's fine. I'm downloading stuff. I just check watching movie. I pull up a YouTube video at 720 and everything. It's all fine. Come in here and it fucking dies, and it's the It's the Google Talk plugin. In fact, I'll give you the name of the plugin.
Orion, I'm not talking shit about the cops. I'm pointing out mishandling. I'm pointing out mishandling of certain situations that include death. This man died with 2 fucking children. Those children don't have their father because of a BB gun and an over-anxious fucking crappy cop.
And wasn't it actually? It wasn't that actually part of his job to where he had it for dispelling of rodents.
That's right. Yeah. That's why he was in town. He wasn't even a local.
Yeah, he was working. He was working. He wasn't just fucking around. He was actually hired. And like I said in the comments, if he was actually working at that hotel, you'd have to think, what the fuck kind of hotel was it where you need to have a pellet gun to get rid of rodents that big?
Yeah, pest control.
Yeah. Dude was in pest control.
Yeah.
But regardless, the man's been dead for a while, and it just sucks all the way around because there is really no clear, win-win to this. There's no way to justify this, and I'm going to say something that might piss some people off, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to go here, or go there with that. I think that the police need to have mandatory evaluations every 6 months for their psychological profiles.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Yeah.
Because they choose to do a very stressful job. There are some that go in thinking they're going to be the hero, and it never turns out that way. And then there are those who think that they go in thinking that they're going to do the most good, and that's how it does happen. But the biggest issue is they need to have psychological evaluations to keep themselves sane. And if you cannot do that and you have too much pressure, it backfires, and then what good are you to do your job or serve the public trust, if nothing else?
Yeah, I think over here they've got to have them at least. Well, they certainly have to have them at regular intervals, anyway. To see just, and they also have counselors. Actually, each police officer has a counselor, attached to them. They can pick a counselor, and so if ever they got, if they're feeling like fucked up from whatever they've seen, then at least they can, chat to somebody about it. Yeah, I can't believe. Like I said, I'm sorry, but that guy. This instance, I'm sorry, but it was just the thing that really got me was just putting him through. Well, it's just the way that he tried to get him doing all of these different things, and each time he got him to do something, then he told him to do something else. It was like he was looking for an opportunity. I mean, not necessarily looking for it, but you know what I mean. He made the problem worse.
Yeah, it was pick a lane.
He's incompetent.
That's what it was, and the cop couldn't pick a lane.
Yeah,
because the man, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but the person that ended up shot, he wasn't refusing.
No, he was on his fucking face.
Yeah, and sure, you can say he probably made a bonehead move with moving his hands towards his pocket, but not once did he not comply with the police officer.
Yes, but at no point should he have been required to even crawl across the thing to make that viable. All that should have happened is face the wall, put your hands behind your head, and then they could have zip-tied him.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
the fuck was all the rest of the shit that was going on? Sorry, I just don't get it.
No, but I think we're just making
superfluous.
points again that have already been made. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I wanted to go to a lighter topic like history.
Yeah.
Okay, 40 ounce. Do you think it was justifiable for Brutus to kill Caesar? Was that a justifiable murder?
Oh shit! That's actually.
Is that a lighter topic?
It was a lover's tiff. Get over it.
I actually kind of wanted to talk about Oh fuck! I totally forgot.
Pudding pops.
It was the fucking no, it was the aliens thing that bugged the shit out of me. Because I binge watched your streams this morning at work. I can't remember which one it was, but
Ancient Aliens.
It was I'm trying to remember exactly what was said, but that's what I'm sorry. I'm trying to put all this shit together. No, you guys were talking about the CIA document that said Hitler was still alive in Argentina in the 60s.
Oh, yeah, we went to fucking aliens and Hollow Earth. Yeah, I remember that.
And then it kind of went
Nazi
on.
Penguins.
Yeah, well,
people and shit.
Yeah, well, one thing I was gonna say, because the authenticity of this report about Hitler was kind of up for debate. And there's one thing I fucking wish I was in every single stream, but one thing I wanted to say is that you have to remember this is a game of this is a game of intelligence and sabotage, and it's a game of
hide and
intrigue
seek.
and politics, and yeah, it's a game of hide and seek, only with SIGs and 9mm and shit like that. It's a game of super deadly hide and seek, and so a lot of things like reports like Hitler's still alive and aliens in Roswell. You have to understand that. I mean, a lot of that is just fear mongering. It's following the White Rabbit and all that other shit.
Well, have you ever watched a film called The Mirage Man?
I don't think so.
Documentary.
Well, I don't know about.
It's really interesting because you know about the MK Ultra and all the stuff and the disinformation process that was being put out and the reasons behind it and stuff. Well, Mirage Man was actually one of the people who was putting out this stuff, and it led to a guy committing suicide because of the false information had been presented. Because he lived near one of these Air Force bases that was doing, testing modern technology, and he was an electronics engineer, and he was tuning in and listening in on all the traffic.
Oh, and, I actually have seen that. I have seen that actually. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, sorry, go on, Mad Dodge.
Oh no, but you have proof that the Nazis made it to fucking Argentina. There's proof. There's
submarines that have been found sunk.
Oh yeah, that's proof. I've got family that are half German and Irish and Argentinian and South American. And it's like, how the fuck this happened? Well, I have German ancestry. It's like, oh, the Germans got freaky with the South Americans. Yep, it happened. Yeah. That's proof, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's proof because people exist.
Okay, well then why wouldn't the leader of the German fucking world, right, at the time, not be shuttled out? Do you think...
Oh, I think Angela Merkel is, some kind of fucking bastardized version of Hitler.
Let's look at it this way, guys. World War III happens, okay?
Probably a DNA experiment.
World War III. The whole country is surrounded, bearing down on DC. And a bunch of fucking Republicans escape. You don't think Donald Trump would be one of them? Come on now. He would have been out of there long before that ever happened.
Well, here's the thing. Like the Nazis, for instance, there are multiple cases of high-profile people trying to escape. Like, for instance, one of the fucking just snakes in the grass that tried to slip through was Himmler. And Himmler was actually caught trying to cross the border in disguise in a just basic bitch German uniform, if I remember correctly. Or I think that might have been someone else.
And Himmler was also somebody that really wanted Hitler to stay where he was at because he couldn't stand the fucker. He wanted Hitler sabotaged as much as possible. He wanted to take over.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the reasons why. Well, why didn't Hitler get away? Because people like Himmler wanted to say, nope, just stay over here till you get shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Adolf was fucking zonked out on too much methamphetamine. I'll give you that. But if he's doing a bunch of meth, I think he's pretty fucking paranoid with the Russians beating down his door. I think he would have been out of there. Like, maybe kill Ava Braun and a body double and be fucking out.
Honestly, he was too egotistical.
I think he was... Sorry, go on.
No, that's all I was going to say.
Yeah, he was someone in his... If you listen to enough of his speeches, you get the kind of ideal... You get the ideals that he was kind of playing around with. He was someone that kind of romanticized the honor and glory of the Aryan race. He's one of those people.
It was the Teutonic thing, right? It was a Teutonic thing that he was trying to recreate.
Yeah, exactly.
When you see the parades, remember the Teutonic parades where they had everything? It was almost like semi-Romanesque. It was very much going back to the Teutonic period and the Goth, the Visigoth invasion of Rome and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think there was I think he would have killed him. I wouldn't put him past him to try and escape, but I think there is a slightly more probable chance he would have killed himself due to the fact that he kind of would have romanticized this scenario in his head. A kind of final stand of a grand empire or something, much like Rome.
Yeah, you'll never take me alive. You'll never take me alive, copper.
Yeah. But I mean, anything could have happened. I wasn't fucking there, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but the thing is, they did find, submarines that have been scuttled off the coast of, Argentina and, Brazil. So they definitely, there was people smuggling going on in submarines, which had been, and they were the ones that came out of France. Yeah, they had the big submarine maintenance facilities in France. So, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, I mean, who else would have been using those? That's the other thing you got to ask yourself, right? Because clearly, I don't think it was just the mariners decided, hey, let's fuck off, because they need to be resupplied somewhere across the ocean, wouldn't they?
So,
yeah, and the thing is, as soon as people saw that, well, after the Blitzkrieg of England, when things really started to change, and not because, America got involved. I'm not even going to remotely put that in there. But after the Blitz, because let's be honest, that's only a minor turning point. But after the Blitzkrieg, when basically everybody was saying enough is enough, and everybody started pushing back, everybody started pushing back, and America joined in at the last minute, and all this other stupid shit. It was getting to the point where all the people from the lowest ranking soldiers to Himmler himself basically said, we're not gonna win this one. We need to get the fuck out of here. And Hitler was again having delusions of grandeur, and everybody was getting out of there long before D-Day, and that's why they had time to escape to other countries. Because they knew what was coming. There's like, we're fucked, and that was really after the Blitzkrieg, and the tide changed.
No, hang on. You're talking about the Battle of Britain, not the Blitzkrieg. Is what Germany was doing to places like Poland. That's the dive bombing, right? Yeah, you're talking about the London and that shit.
Right.
I'm
glad you knew what I meant.
I mean, don't forget, even Rudolf. I get you. Yeah, but Rudolf, wasn't it Rudolf Hess who ended up getting? He came in on a parachute and ended up getting arrested. He was trying to negotiate.
Oh yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Father Christmas turning up. He went to but it was like a lord's house or something. He ended up going to somebody's estate, and then they said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here! You're arrested, numbnuts."
For fuck's sake! At that point, entire armies were surrendering. There was the German Sixth Army who literally, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, the German Sixth Army literally refused orders from the top strictly to evacuate citizens, and then later on the German Sixth Army surrendered to the Americans, and then there was the German Fourth Army at Castle Ister. I think it was the Fourth Army at Castle Ister that fought alongside Americans to repel an SS attack. The whole fucking thing was just falling apart at the end.
Yeah, but Rudolf Hess, he tried to get out because after he failed to win the Battle of Britain, he knew that Hitler was going to be gunning for him at some point. So he basically tried to just bail out, literally, in an airplane.
Yeah, you're right. He tried to jump over Britain or whatever. But, no, okay, with all the chaos going on and all these soldiers surrendering and a mass flood of civilians, you're telling me the leader of the German people didn't have the idea, with the Russians beating down my door, I should get the fuck out. Shave the silly mustache and fucking run.
I mean, it's an interesting idea, but it's kind of like the JFK thing. It's going to be one of those things that can never be proved, but always argued. Didn't it happen?
Yeah.
Well, and didn't the Soviets even say he survived?
Yeah.
Plenty of people have said that. Yeah, I mean, it's come out of British military intelligence said that they were, tracking him, and they had, that they were concerned with information that they were getting from, and I think it was also like around Rio de Janeiro too, in Brazil. So they were picking up all kinds of information from South America.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Russians, the British, and the American CIA all thought he survived. And we're saying, nah, he's dead. I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't fucking there.
They had concerns that he might be. It's not the fact that he was. It was just that they were looking to see if he was alive or dead. Doesn't mean that he was. Just because they were looking for him doesn't mean he was actually alive. They might have been looking for a dead person.
Yeah. And there's a thing to bring up here is, and even if he had survived, how the hell did his ass not ever go to Nuremberg for trial? He was the grand poobah of war criminals at the time. You know damn well if they got their hands on him, that's where he was going.
Oh, yeah, but he had an awful lot of that Nazi gold.
Yeah.
Well, probably had a ton of valuable information.
Yeah, plenty of ways that you can avoid going into the gulag, you know what I mean? I mean, well, look at how many of the German scientists and things who've pretty much been, working against the
True,
interests
but
of the
the
Allies,
German
who, you know,
scientists
with
actually
Operation
had
Paperclip
values.
and all that. Yeah, well, okay, but that's value, you see. Well, information is value, right? Information is power. I'm sure Hitler had plenty.
He still
I mean,
wasn't looked
he
favorably
ravaged most of the Europe.
upon.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he still had the gold, and that's what matters. He had the
And at
code
the end of the day,
numbers.
it's like how many, like
Swiss
near
bank
80 years
account.
later, what are we doing about? You know, we can't do shit about it.
Well, we were looking for a lighter topic to end on.
You know, we ended up on Nazi gold. Yeah, all those Jewish teeth. Good God.
Oh, what the fuck? God damn it.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, all those wedding rings and shit.
Yeah. All those butt rings. Jews are freaky. The perverts.
Well, shit. Well, in conclusion, I do believe that that police officer should have been found guilty. I also believe that the young lady who kidnapped that fucking boy should be in prison, not on probation. And I'm not sure if Hitler died in Nazi Germany, like they said. But, you know, that's my conclusion. You guys?
Yeah, well, I just think, yeah, I mean, I know that you're not sure about it, but the thing is, you're hoping that he's still alive. That's the thing.
No, he would be dead by now. Come on now. And I'm not. No, I'm a libertarian. You think I like
hoping for the
socialists?
shrine.
No, you think I? No, I'm not a socialist fan. Not a big fan.
You're not a libertarian fascist?
No, no.
My God, what am I doing in this room? I thought this was right wing.
Well, that's you in a nutshell. No, this is me in a nutshell. Help! I'm in a nutshell. How did I get in this crazy nutshell? How do I get out?
Oh, you can't be a bit of Michael Myers.
But yeah,
Was that the spy who shagged me?
no. But to wrap it up, you guys, what are you guys' final conclusions?
You suck.
That's nice. Fuck off, cabbage.
My final conclusion is I think that when you have guests, if other people come in and start derailing the topic massively about personal issues, the other people, you know, and unfortunately Google Chat doesn't have this feature. The other people need to fuck off and get bumped out. Not anybody tonight, because we were all great tonight. We were all gold. But what happened last night, you know, if that shit was uncalled for. Especially when Cabbage and I shocked everybody about agreeing on Tarantino.
Yeah, true. That shocked the shit out of me. I will not deny it.
Hey, you know, credit where it's due, man. You made a fair point. You know, credit where it's due. But yeah, if people, and I'm going to go on record, if people got a problem with other people, they don't need to be going into live streams and crashing shit. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. 40 ounce. Any final thoughts? No, in zero, I meant fair enough. I agree with you. Fair enough. Totally.
Police did nothing wrong. Hitler's alive in Argentina. I can't think of anything else.
Wait, the police did nothing. Okay, our after stream should be fun.
Police do
Cabbage,
nothing wrong.
Cabbage, you already said yours, right? Mad Dodge 2020. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's right. I said Mad Dodge sucks 2020.
Oh, fuck you. All right, everybody. This has been the Redeye number 54, Dancing with the Cops. Have a good night.